I will pray for you, but if you get on my nerve, I will cuss you smooth out. My mouth ain't under control yet, and I can throw these hands. And let me tell you something, if I get my hands on you, I promise you, you're gonna know you've been in a fight. But I'm trying not to go there because I'm in transition.
Oh, child. We are in transition. And listen, that's exactly what happened. Angela Oakley transitioned from fave to questionable to I got a question. And I feel like the tables turned on Angela. What y'all think? I feel like the tables turned on Angela, but not too quick because I think I recognize the play. I think I recognize what's happening here. I do. Bravo. I'm 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 steps ahead of you. Angela, you're going to have to chill. You're going to have to chill, Angela, because I believe like, what is it called? Warning? What is it? How do you say pride comes before destruction or warning comes before destruction? You said, I'm here, pour me a beer. Listen, it's happy hour somewhere, right? This was a good episode. Let me just say, it started off as a really good episode. It started off as a really good episode. And they just be pissing me off. Shamea still has to go, Bravo. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. The reunion seating chart, we're going to talk about that at the end. Y'all remind me just in case I try to get out of here early before talking about the reunion seating chart. This episode had me all over the place. It really do. Pride comes before the fall. There we go. Y'all knew what I was talking about. Y'all knew exactly what I was talking about. And so, Angela, it's not that I think you're lying. I think you just going to have to back up. I think you're going to back up. You got to back up. And I get what you're doing for reality TV, but you're going to have to let that bone go. You cannot die on that hill because it's going to start working against you. And I'm the type of person. I believe when doors stop opening for you and you start to meet a little bit of resistance and the plan ain't planning and whatever was happening behind the scenes, now this person is changing their story, switching their tune. You got to back up off of it. You don't want to become hyper-focused on Shamea. It's not a good look. Now, that's all. You feel like Angela's lying. I don't think she's lying. I think she's being lied to. Oh, I think she's being lied to. How about that? And guess what? I don't even know if she's being lied to. I think George and Ashley, watch this, are playing both sides. Because if Angela lied, she said straight up in front of Shamea, she said straight up in front of Ashley, the wife on the phone, her neighbors. If that is what I conveyed to you, I apologize. That is not what I meant. She said in front of Shamea and the ladies, I think you effed. I think you effed George. I think you slept with George. Didn't nobody tell me that? That came from myself. How is that a lie? She didn't say she did. She said she thinks she did. She told him why she thinks she did because of the way who? Listen, George is an old, dirty, nasty old man. I found him. I went to his page. Old, nasty, dirty man, in my opinion. George seems like the type of guy that would only be interested in a woman for sexual pleasures. We're gonna look at him in a minute. Give me a second now. So, I believe George probably said something along the lines to make Angela feel as if Shamea did something with him. Did she? I don't know. That ain't my business. Shamea's a grown woman. She can do what she wants to do. She can be there, here, there. She can be everywhere. I know she's outside a lot, and that's why you need to take your ass home. See, because when you're outside a lot as a married woman, you really don't have too many places to go when these men start playing with you like that. When these men start playing with your name like that in the streets. You see what I'm saying? Because you're carrying yourself like a city girl, right, wrong, and or indifferent. So, Angela, you're going to have to pump your brakes. Somebody playing in your face. And I think they're playing both sides. That's all. George is not Mr. Chocolate. Y'all back up. Let me listen. See, you trying to bring somebody else's content. Let me do this. Look, Nick, hold on, Nick. You bringing somebody else's thoughts. Let me get into it. Let me get into it. Listen, Angela, you're gonna have to back up off. George seems tricky and Ashley seems tricky. Okay. We're gonna get into all of that. George looks dusty. George looks like he would do anything strange for a piece of change and anything strange to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, Bravo, if you decide to go that way, I'm going to stop watching. That is not Bravo material. That is not Atlanta material for what we've become accustomed to. Thank you, Nikki. You said the couple is in on it. Angela asked for the wife's permission first. The wife did even better. Huh? But I get what you're saying. Now, Bravo, I need to know, how did the scene really play out? Did Shamea text the wife first or did Angela call the wife first? Because the way reality TV works, y'all, sometimes they'll put these scenes out of order, right? I think Shamea came with a bone to pick with Angela. I think Shamea came to get her lick back. I do. And I think she did a good job of laying it out. But Shamea lied. Shamea still lied because she told Ashley, she's like, I didn't know we had beef. I didn't know that you thought that I was sleeping with your husband. That's not what Angela said. But that's what Shamea conveyed to Ashley, to which Ashley responded on a text message. Angela is lying. That's weird. See, y'all have to take into consideration everything that's happening. Angela said, I went to Ashley. Now, I did catch you in a small white lie. You said, I went to Ashley and I asked, if I say anything about Shamea, would you be offended? Pinky Cole then said, so did you ask Ashley about Shamea? You said no. But on the phone, Angela, Ashley did say, well, you asked me about her and I told you I didn't know anything about her. So that's a small one. You're going to have to back up off of it because they play in both sides. I think George and his wife are playing Shamea. And I think they have more allegiance to Shamea for whatever reason. Now, when you see Ashley, you're going to see why she's more in alignment with Shamea than she would be with Angela. Now, Ashley's like 27 or 28, y'all. Okay. You said I'm eyeing that wife. Well, that's not a traditional wife. Hold on now. Y'all, look, I'm going to bring it up now. It ain't no housewife. Let me just say that. It ain't the type of wives we're used to seeing. Yeah, that's what type of time I'm on today. So, Angela and Shamea, they hate each other. They don't like each other. Shamea seems to get more amped up. She likes to get real froggy when she has an audience, right? She likes to get real amped up when she has Kelly, Pinky, and K. Michelle around her. When she's by herself, not so much. And then I started thinking about it. I said, well, y'all have to remember that Shamea came for Angela last season. Shamea came for Angela first last season. Shamea came for Angela's marriage first. Angela is just responding. But Angela, you got to back up off of it. You're too elegant. You're too elegant. It got to be touch and go. Touch and go. Otherwise, it ain't going to give what you think it's giving. Stop tweeting. Because you've been on Twitter, girl, talking about y'all wait, it's going to play out. We don't really care. We need you to move on. See, this is how this works. You got to move on. Who kept getting up from the table? You said, I love me some Shamea. I can't. I used to. And now, Shamea, if y'all are listening, we're talking about on the show. We don't know none of y'all personally. We are not talking about you in real life, okay? But since you're on the show, girl, we're going to talk about y'all like a dog over here. I don't like Shamea on the show. I used to like Shamea a lot as a friend of the show. I did. I thought she did a really good job as a friend of the show. I do not like her as a full-time housewife. Uh, it's just, But let me get to Kelly. Let me get to Kelly because one thing that became very obvious to me during this episode is that Kelly is willing to do whatever it takes to stay on this damn show. If that means moving out of her house to conjure up a story about her neighbor and a protective order, if that means being a best friend to the end to Shamea, she gonna do whatever it takes to get on this damn show. And the desperation of it all is off-putting to me. I don't like it. It's so off-putting, it's fake. And one thing she said at the table when Cynthia said, your moods seem to change if Shamea has a problem with something. Kelly in her confessional said, well, bitch, it's called being a friend. You should try it. Well, bitch, weren't you a friend last year to Britt Edie? Weren't you on that type of time last year with Britt Edie, only to fall out with her? Quit playing with me, Kelly. You ain't a friend to nobody but to yourself. That girl is willing to do whatever the hell it takes. And it hit me as I was watching her. I don't like her neither. I ain't even finna sit here and lie. I don't care what outfit, what garb I do not like Kelly. For real. Kelly Potter. I don't. I think she's a sophisticated scammer. That's it. That's all. That's what I think about her. The type that knows how to play the game, the type that knows how to pull the man, even if he's a little pudgy, right? The one that's going to draw from the well until it runs dry, whether you're a man or a woman. The one that knows how to, entangle herself with the hottest thing on the block. Last year was Britt Edie. I'm going to do anything for Britt, including standing my ground against Kenya Moore this season. Same shit, just a different day. Showing up the same way for Shamea, attaching herself under the guise of friendship. Now, look. We at home, right? We're at home. We're just watching it from home. Do you feel like if you were on the show, you would be able to see Kelly coming a mile away? Kelly is fake. I do not like fake, phony. I don't like the housewives that need to be here, that want to be here so bad. I like the ones that kind of sit back in the cut and that wait for their time to shine, and then boom, their asses come out of nowhere, like Angela Oakley. Came out of nowhere. Boom, like Joe Ellen. Boom, like Rosie on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. You be like, damn, I didn't see that coming. Huh? Gotcha. That's what I like. I don't like the personal attacks. I don't like the body shaming, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Because what if somebody called you a midget? What if somebody called you a little person? Shamea, you seem to be very insecure, which is why I think you go after the physical. What if somebody called you darky? Because some people feel like darker women are not as attractive as lighter women. So I'm just saying, if we're gonna open the door to insult, I think it's lowbrow. I have not heard anybody talk about Shamea or Kelly's looks or their physical attributes. Now, I know last year somebody said, I think it was Portia, that said Shamea was having some type of challenge with her self-esteem. So she wanted to get her body done. She wasn't happy with her body. She was able to do that. God bless you. If you got the money, baby, I say go for it. But what is all of this coming for Angela and a taller girl? Is gonna wear, they gonna be in a 9.5, 10, and if we pulled off every wig, every piece of eyelash, Lord have mercy, makeup, Shamea, you would not be in the top 3. You would not. So let's get back to housewiving. And I just feel that Shamea and Kelly are freaking buzzkills. They are a buzzkill. Have you ever been high? Smoked some good weed? I'm talking about some good weed. and you typically don't smoke with everybody. And now you be like, you know what, Donna? And they completely a buzzkill. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. Look, Cassandra says, I love Joellen. She came with the receipt. She definitely proved her case. She wasn't lying. Rula is in denial until now. Her husband continued with the relationship. She thought it was over in 2025. And even Joellen is going to have to get a little bit of balance, right? The same thing that I'm saying to Angela. Hey, you can't stay on that hill too long. Don't be like a dog on a bone, because after a while it becomes distasteful. You got to hit, boom, in housewife fashion, move on, apologize, cry, have a glass of champagne, hell, even have a glass of wine. On to the next one. Thank you, Super 3701. You said Britt Edie works for George's company. I know you lie. Send me some receipts. Send me some receipts, because if Britt Edie works for George's company, because that group fell out. Britt Edie, Kelly, and Shamea. But hold on, here we go. Let's get into it. So I don't like Kelly. I need Kelly to be gone. Bravo. This was a misconnect. Kelly has never been right to me from the beginning. And I don't like the victim mentality. She never comes bearing good news. In most scenes, she's crying a river. If it ain't with her mom. I mean, I just don't see the girl shining. I don't see the girl just kind of popping her shit. You get what I'm saying? Talking about all the good that's what boss bitches do. They bounce back. If it ain't the restaurant, it's her husband's fault. It's the neighbor's fault. It's I need an attorney. It's the man buying the teeth. It's no wins. She hasn't had a win in 2 seasons, Bravo. What are we doing? She's a buzzkill. And I kind of feel like if Kelly don't have anything else to say, one thing she's going to do is she's going to place herself in a position to be a victim of somebody's, okay? During Dallas. Watch this. Follow me. In Dallas. How do you take such a large-scale event and become a victim of a room that you say is so dirty, so debilitating that you can't make it to dinner? Then you go to Phaedra's event. Whatever's happening with you is so debilitating that you should have never come, and you damn near whacked Portia upside the head with a wine glass. You get what I'm saying. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but your mood was so dire and detrimental. Now we're in Scotland, and they got the party started, right? Everybody, well, kind of. They got to the table, Pinky's announcing that Shamea is going to be the leading lady. And then Kelly chimes in with a sad story. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Speaking of, I've always thought Shamea was let me say, how do I want to say this? I've always said from the beginning that Shamea is an excellent role player. And there's nothing wrong with being a role player. Everybody's not positioned to be the leading lady. The problem is you got too many chiefs and not enough what? And everybody wants to be the leading lady, the star of the show. You can't be. Bravo has picked the star of the show. That's Portia Williams. Period. They're not going back to Nene. They don't look like they're going back to Kenya Moore anytime soon. And you damn show, Bravo. Bet not go to no damn Rashida Frost and Toya Johnson. Don't do that. Now that would piss me off. I would just have to find a different show, because that would be a slap in the face. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to see that. I mean, I now that would cause me to have to go check myself in somewhere. Don't do that to us. I would really feel like you're messing with me now. Now you're messing with me. We don't want no damn Rashida Frost and Toya. I don't want none of that on the real. Hell, we barely can stomach K. Michelle, to be honest with you. I'm laughing, but I'm serious, Bravo. And I know y'all be listening. Now, Shamea has done a really good job over the years of being a role player. She's a good friend of the show, but she's a horrible housewife. Let's talk about it. She a horrible housewife. This has been an epic fail, period, point blank. She's a wife in real life, but she's a horrible housewife to the franchise. And the crazy thing is, everybody's saying, well, she don't really need the show. She may not, but she wants it. So it ain't about what you need, it's about what you want. This is exactly where she wants to be. Even if it means being on the outs, even if it means having a fucked up attitude every time we see her on camera. That's what she wants. That's where she wants to be. She don't want to be home. She got a marriage, but she's outside. She's a housewife, but she don't want to be housewiving in her house. She want to be housewiving in our houses. She want to be on our television screen, even if it's against her husband's will. That's all I'm saying. What'd you say? We don't want any love and hip hop folks. We do not. Because y'all don't do that to the white folks franchise, Bravo. Y'all don't go pluck Honey Boo Boo them and put them on the OC and put them in Beverly Hills. So don't be doing that to us. Don't do that. I'm watching
Bruh.
you.
Bruh. Bruh. Bruh.
That's all.
Bruh.
That's all I'm
Bruh.
saying. Look, you can't force something that's not there. I don't know how long Bravo is going to try to give this thing a go. I don't know if Shamea is coming back next season. But if Shamea was going to make a comeback, it would have been this episode. If Shamea was going to come out the box and finally show us something different, it would have been this episode. I don't give a damn about no reunion. And I heard people are saying, oh, she did good at the reunion. I don't care. She's had how many episodes to get it together? That's almost like a delayed response. Did you see her facial expressions the entire time at the dinner table or at the lunch table when the girls got to Scotland? Did you see her facial expressions in the car? Did you? It's just so hard to watch Shamea for me. Shamea is triggering for me. I'm the type of person, I'm like, if you don't want to be here, don't come. If you're gonna rain on somebody's parade, don't come. If your face says that you have better shit to do, then stay home. Be a loving, doting wife to Gerald. Be a loving, doting mother. Go work with the Hawks. Go do something with the Falcons. But if you gonna show up, don't ruin it for everybody else. And that's the part about Shamea that pisses me off, to be honest with you. That's it. Let me move on. I didn't like her body language in the car. Now, she kind of made up for it a little bit when she came out and, just the overkill and the confessionals. And sometimes I'm like, who in the hell is Shamea? Because I do hear the girls saying, you're cosplay. Like, nobody really know who Shamea is. And Andy, we not trying to learn. Let her figure it out with a therapist. I think that was some of the best advice, though, that Cynthia told you, girl, go see a therapist. Because 1 minute is almost like she don't, Hurricane Michelle, I believe was it Pink? It was Kelly. She was rolling her eyes as they're pulling up. She got out. She seemed to be happy. She went back into a slump at the table. And I'm like, damn. It's like she want to be a part of the group, but then she don't want to be a part of the friend group. It's the worst thing ever. And I'm like, at this point, you need to make up your mind because between you and Kelly, Bravo, they are killing these trips. These have been some freaking good trips, y'all. These have been some damn expensive ass trips. Now, we don't always get this level of look. Come on now. Dallas trip was excellent. Scotland is excellent. They damn near got kicked out the restaurant. Portia had to say, listen, y'all need to chill. We're about to get kicked out. Please don't mess up this trip. We've spent too much money. When somebody has to ask you to do that, that's some ghetto-ass. Look. Come on, Bravo. All this money down the drain for Cynthia's trip. Phaedra's event. Now we're in Scotland. It's the same old thing. Itchy and scratchy. Kelly and Shamea messing up scenes. This is what we look forward to as viewers. And that's your common denominator. You got Kelly, you got Shamea. Now, I put it all together for you. I put it in your face. I just gave you the three most important events. Dallas, Phaedra's event, Scotland, Kelly and Shamea. Kelly and Shamea. Shamea got a nasty attitude when she don't get her way. When she doesn't get her way, she has a nasty attitude. And getting her way means her and Portia. She don't like the sight of Portia, but this is Portia's shit. You're on Portia's show. You showed up to Portia's job. Get with the program. Because it's not like, let me ask y'all something. And maybe I'm being too harsh. How many of you turn on the TV when we're looking at the Real Housewives of Atlanta and say, oh my God, I can't wait to see what Shamea is going to bring this scene? I'm not turning on the television thinking, damn, I can't wait to see Shamea. Damn, I can't wait to see Shamea. What Shamea's going to say to, I do not. It's almost like that coworker. You say I'm being too harsh? I'm sorry, Mandy. You may have to log off, girl. This is my review, my recap. Okay. I'm sorry. I cannot. I just don't. I don't want Shamea as a full-time housewife. You say you being too harsh. Okay, thank you for the feedback. But she's there. I can't talk around her. She was a primary figure on this episode. That's all I'm saying. Okay. You said I can't lie, Queen. I'm waiting to see her in port. Now that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. And it's a continuation of an effed up trip that a lot of money has been spent. When have we ever heard the girls go at each other's moms? Because here's the thing. I think we got a snippet of what's going to happen, right? Shamea said, you brought my mama up on social media. Then girl, bring her mama up on social media. You have a freaking delayed response, like 6-7 month response. That was 6 months ago. And now you got 6 months to practice. And now you're going to wait for a scene in Scotland 7 months later to say something back about her mama after you and your mom have rehearsed. It's childish to me. That's all I'm saying. Housewives are witty. They're in the moment. And when the moment has passed, girl, you got to move on. You can't be like, wait, everybody come back. I got it now. I got it. She said something about my mom. Well, your mom is a horrible person 7 months later. Come on, y'all. Like 86, stand up, say, try a 10-year delayed response. Heavily delayed. The good thing about the wives is we like a good old nasty read. We like it in the moment and then they move on. But you can't come back and say, you remember last year on social media, you posted about my mama? Now let me tell everybody what your mama did. You missed the moment. A Pearl for you says Shamea is the friend that's going to take you down or try to take you down if it's the last thing that she does. Okay, here's the thing. Watch this. So that's what I have. Now, before we get into the thick of it, let me say this. I think both Angela and Shamea are correct in a sense. I think they both are being fed information from George and his wife, right? Shamea put 20 on 10. She lied. She lied to the wife and she misrepresented what Angela said. Angela did not say that wife thinks that you're sleeping with her husband. That's not what she said. She said, girl, are you effing George? But I do think the neighbor is playing both of them. Now, have y'all seen the neighbors? Because I said before, I said he looked like a nasty old man. And Shamea, I'm going to say this. Any dealings with him? Any dealings with him? Or anytime let me just put it out here. Let's take a look. Here we go. Here we go. This is George. Well, first, all right. This is Ashley, his wife.
I'm Ashley. I'm a mom, a mummy. I'm 27, mom of 3, and George's partner in this beautiful, messy thing that we call life.
She's a really cool lady. She's sweet, understanding, all the good stuff, but she's a little crazy too.
You can watch the full episode on Crash.
Okay, he said my wife crazy. He like him young. He got him a 27-year-old. Let's show it. Let's watch. This is George showing off his wife. This is Ashley.
I thought I was just dropping off food. I didn't know I was picking a whole new future. Yes, I'm younger. Yes, people judge. But age don't define love. Effort does. Right?
Love don't check IDs. It checks the energy.
That's George. That's George. Shamea, he a trick. Let me just call it like I see. He's a trick. He likes to trick off on women. I do believe he wrote you a check, but I don't think he wrote you a check the same reason you thought he wrote you a check. He's a trick. Yeah, I said it. And Ashley was out there bopping. Now, I've called Shamea a bopper, a Mary bopper in the past. Is that not a trick? That's a big trick. He a big trick, and he got it like that. So, Shamea, I do believe he told Angela. That's something fine right there. And I do believe he pulled up your social media and probably made some sexual innuendos. He looked like a trick. Thank you, Mr. Cowbone. He a big trick. Let's go ahead and see.
And definitely, you gotta have them pockets. You know what I'm saying? And what we do, I got those pockets.
All right, he already let you know what time it is. Let's go.
When I met George, he already had 5 kids. So when I say I stepped into a full situation, I mean a whole situation.
Now she's 27. She got 2 kids plus my new daughter, Lauren.
Baby, what? Y'all gonna quit playing with me. When I tell you something, that's a trick. Now, Shamea, my thing is this. How you running into these types of men being married to Gerald? There are just some places you don't go. There's just some, I'm not saying the girl is sleeping with the man, but I'm just saying it's the perception of it. It's the principality of it, Smokey. You don't put yourself in those types of rooms with a nigga that's a trick. Because everybody gonna think he what? Tricking off on who? Tricking off on you. You heard the man. He said you gotta have them pockets. And I got them pockets. Angela ain't lying. I think he look, let me run it again. Look how he talk about it.
I thought I was just dropping off food. I didn't know I was picking a whole new future.
Now, his wife just told you how she got him. Shamea. I'm not saying Shamea messed with this man. I'm saying that the man's intentions may have been to mess with Shamea. I think he see you as a piece of meat. I think he talked you up like that. I don't think Angela is lying. I think, look, I think George's primary reason for dealing with any woman would be to sleep with her. He don't give a damn about your organization. The donation was, you know what kind of donation that was? Y'all better quit playing with me. We grown. This ain't like a Gerald Hoven. Look, handing over a check. This a big old trick with a gold chain around his neck. The man just told you he a trick. Hold on.
Yes, I'm younger. Yes, people judge. But age don't define love. Effort does.
The man pays for ass. Let's go.
Right?
Love don't check IDs. It checks the energy, and definitely you gotta have them pockets. You know what
Oh.
I'm saying? And what we do, I
And he foaming at the mouth and shit. Hold on.
got those pockets.
When I met George, he already had 5 kids. So when I say I stepped into a full situation, I mean a whole situation.
Now she's 27. She got 2 kids plus my new daughter Lauren. You can watch the full episode on Crash.
Somebody said, was she DoorDashing? I think so. It sounded like she was DoorDashing. She said, I thought I was just dropping her food. I guess he invited her in. Baby. Listen. The girl just, let's go to his page. Y'all didn't think I was going to pull up George? Y'all don't think? Shamea, that looks crazy. I'm not saying Shamea slept with the man or not. But can you understand why anybody would think that you are? Because a nice married woman that's been elevated like yourself ain't got no damn business around no damn George. One of the biggest tricks in Atlanta. You heard Phaedra say, everybody know George. Y'all better start listening to Phaedra when she get the whispering and talking underneath her breath. That means if you're around George, everybody already know what time it is, what George is looking for. He pays. Now, Angela, I'm going to say this. This is probably one of your worst episodes. And you should have thought this out a little bit better because it didn't land right. It did not give what you thought it was going to give. I get where you going. But it ain't tricking if you got it. George is for the streets. Ashley's for the streets, baby. It's giving hoe and pimp. Pimps up, hoes down. And they're going to change their story and say and do whatever they need to say and do, period. George just told you got to have them pockets. They want to be on this show. And if they got to get in your head and get in Shamea's head to get on the show, that's what they going to do. This is a couple. The girl told you she was dropping off food and stayed a while. Can Nettie stay a spell? And Nettie did stay a spell. I just quoted The Color Purple. The girl who door dashes and ended up staying at the people house. Nobody. But she did. That's the one she hooked up with Kelly. Girl, I just put 2 and 2 together because Kelly said he was chunky. Girl, let me go to commercial. Girl.
You all should be ashamed. How can you drink right after a funeral? Like this? Give me another one, then, Brady. Fred Sanford, you just left the house of the Lord, and now I'm in my house. All y'all ought to be ashamed drinking like a school of fish. My Bible says, be not drunk with wine. What did it say about scotch? Yes, why'd you go someplace else? Why'd you go ugly up somebody else's house? Who you calling ugly, sucker? You.
Okay, let me get something straight because now y'all starting to piss me off when I get comments like that. I'm so disappointed with your bias. So what? I have biases. This is not a church channel. I said 1,000 times, I don't like Shamea as a housewife. Now I question your views. Sweetheart, don't either tune in. Don't focus on me. Focus on the content. Find a page that's going to hype up Shamea. Go get what you need, but don't come over here questioning my views about nothing. You don't know me. I don't know you. I told you this is a show. This is a freaking show. Y'all be doing the fucking most over TV. Over television. Engaged on a level that you should not be engaged on. Take what you need and discard the rest. And if you need somebody to hype up Shamea, you got to go get what you need. That's like me listening to a radio station that's not playing the music that I want to hear. I turn the channel. It ain't got nothing to do with the DJ. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Let me go find something that's going to give me, I ain't in the mood for that today. I had somebody inbox me and say, I don't like the fact that you talked about Oprah. Ma'am, we talk about I'm very disappointed. I'm not your fucking daughter. I'm not your family. I'm not your kinfolk. You cannot be disappointed in me. It's a topic. And when we open up the lines, come up and state your opinion. Otherwise, keep it moving. Y'all do the most to women. And these men can get out here and call them all kind of sluts and bitches and hoes. And yeah, he don't mean no harm. He didn't. Oh, but you're so biased. And you talked about Oprah and you said this and that. Y'all. You said, is it a quilting party? I don't know what the hell it is. But I know it's my opinion. No, I'm good. Ain't nobody bothering me. But it's just, no, it's okay if they come out and defend Shamea, because Shamea got a lot of people that it's when they turn now I question everything about you. You can't question nothing about me. You don't know me. Sit down somewhere and focus on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The fuck? I'm not going off. No, you say go off. No, I'm not going off, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes y'all take it to a place that it don't need to go. Oh, I question everything about you now. For what? Stop establishing parasocial relationships with people you don't know behind a video, as if they have to say everything you want them to say. That's why I don't take your applause and your criticism. I said, I don't really give a fuck. Don't send me nothing that nobody else is talking about. I stay in my lane because I know how finicky y'all are. So I don't put nothing but into me and what I got going on. No, I ain't gonna let nobody kill no vibe. We good. Because I know how they switch up. You get what I'm saying? We on a roll. Yeah, it's pimps up hoes now. You said we was on a roll. We gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. I know how to bring it back together. But I just feel like it's fair game. If you put it in the chat, you want me to see it, right? I saw it. I seen it. I spoke on it. We good. I'm good, hip you with. But you work hard out here. Some of us be working our ass off to give y'all good content. Y'all, you only as good as you say shit that motherfuckers agree with. As long as you do what they want you to do, they love you. Say something they don't like. And that's why I don't kiss ass. And I stick to my content. I stick to my opinion. I tell people, don't send me nothing nobody else is talking about. That ain't got nothing to do with me because I don't want to cloud my judgment. I don't like Shamea as a housewife. I said it. Period. I don't like her. Now question that. And it ain't personal, but you made it personal. But George ain't nothing but a big old trick. So Shamea, as a married woman, if you're hanging around that, people will assume, right, wrong, or indifferent, you are married to Gerald. It's just some things you can't do. Like I was saying, it's the principality of it, Smokey. Now, I wanted to let me go see what else George got going on. Crash to cash. Bravo, don't bring these people on here. This girl, allegedly, met her husband DoorDash. Let me see what else George got going on. Y'all, look at George. Hold on. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Let me see if y'all can see my screen. She said what she said. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. So let's see what George got.
What's next for Crash to Cash? Well, so my whole purpose now is that we're going nationwide. When I said nationwide, I changed my mind. I said, no, we're going worldwide. And then I changed my mind again. I said, we're going to go through the universe.
I know where we were. Somebody said, could this be the one that Shamea introduced to Kelly? Could it be? George, is that you? Because Kelly described him as plump. Y'all don't remember that? I caught it and I was thinking, who is plump? And they say he has kids. Okay. And I'm like, I don't know, right? We don't know. We just assuming right now. You said, please don't do Bravo. Please don't. That's what I want to know. Simple yet stylish. So is George Jarvis, girl? Tracy Trace says Shamea ain't got no class. She's about to pee in that cup. Yeah, I'm gonna come for Shamea because Shamea, just living your truth. Living your truth, whatever it is. And they sat there at that table. Watch this. Actually, I'm skipping. I'm getting ahead of myself. What I wanted to say is, Angela, this episode didn't give what you thought it was going to give. It really did. And I got to be honest, okay? I felt like it was one of her worst episodes. It wasn't fluid. It wasn't seamless. And that didn't land right. I followed you, but Shamea won that round. And it seemed like Shamea and Ashley were in sync. And they had already had like some type of communication or rapport established. And it seemed like Ashley's playing you, Angela. And everything you're saying, everything you're asking, she's going back and feeding it to Shamea. So I'm going to just say this. This is what I think. Woman to woman. I think Ashley knew you were going to go on that trip. I think Ashley and Shamea coordinated. I think you've been asking about Shamea, but I think you're getting sloppy with it. I think you should back up off of it because let me tell you why. When somebody asks you to, you have to. I think it's proper to oblige. When somebody says, can you stop digging into me? You have to, Angela, because it seems like you're all over the place and it's so obnoxious that everybody's talking about it. Now, here's the thing though, y'all. Because see, y'all switch up so damn quick. Angela has hit 2 home runs. She told you Pinky had a wife in the basement. She didn't lie about that. Because come to find out this episode, we found out Pinky was in a full-blown relationship with a woman for 3 years.
I heard about you. I was waiting on you at the door.
So she didn't lie about that. She hit a home run with that. Okay. Nobody knew that. But Angela. She talked about the Falcons and the Hawks, to which Shamea responded, give me the name first. And then we could talk about it. Ain't no names if you know you ain't did it. Ain't no names. If you ain't been out there, I don't care if it was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Do I think something is going on recently? Probably not. With the Falcons and the Hawks. Has Shamea probably cleaned up her act? Probably. But Angela ain't really steered us in the wrong direction. That's all I'm saying. But Angela, you just got to back up off of it now. Because it's going nowhere fast. It's going nowhere fast. And I feel like the tables turn. And that's your warning just to kind of, you know what I'm saying? To come up off of you. Too sophisticated. You too elevated. You working on stuff with your daughter. It's just not a good look. And that's woman to woman. It's not a good look. Go move on with your own life. Focus on your family. Focus on mending your relationship with your daughter. Getting up, stop trying to tell your daughter that she needs to talk to little kids about being gay. Because that's not important. That's her sister and brother. They can't do nothing with that. If she come out the closet with that, we talk 9-year-olds, 7-year-olds. They can't do nothing with that. So stop it. Angela's on the right track, but I need her the housewife. Does that make sense? Before she lose her luster. And sometimes you can become so focused on somebody that you end up, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. That's all I'm saying. So you're going to have to come up off Shamea. Now, let me say this. Cynthia said, Cynthia, Cynthia said Angela sure is putting a lot of bodies on Shamea. She did. I would hope that Shamea would want nothing with no damn George. But child, I would hope. I just can't see it. Yeah, that don't mean she probably ain't took no money from him a time or two in the past. Because George did say you got to have them pockets. Now, this is George and his wife, I do believe.
Yeah, I was just telling Ashley yesterday about the purpose of improving, because I was telling the kids, see all the improvement that we do around the house every day. You know what I'm saying? We always got a new project going on, new remodeling, new renovations. And Ashley and I was talking about, hey, you got to improve it to give kids hope. And when they get to be adults, they'll be always have improvement on that mind. And when you have improvement in your minds, two things go with that. You got to think, you got to get to work, and then you got to make the.
So this is the neighborhood that Angela Oakley, Charles Oakley, and this guy live in, right? She's saying they are her neighbors, like a doorstep away. So we're going to guess that Angela either lives to the right or the left of them. Ashley is a new wife, sounds like, and she's 27, y'all. So would a 27-year-old be with the shits? Absolutely. But I can see her aligning herself more with Shamea than she would with Angela. That's it. That's all. And watch this, Angela. This is what I think is going to happen. I would not put it above Shamea to bring this girl on the show. I wouldn't. I think Shamea is getting her ducks in a row to be able to build alliances, because the way Shamea, Kelly, and Britt Edie originally looked at the situation was them versus us. I think Shamea and Kelly still have that mentality. Now, K. Michelle was a little bit more subdued this episode. It's almost like she kind of wanted to separate herself. She realized, oh, wait a minute. The grass may be greener on the other side. And I like that on K. Michelle. I like the fact that K. Michelle sat back and peeped the play. I was like, okay. Pinky did a good job too. So K. Michelle and Pinky are kind of like backing away a little bit in this episode. And K. Michelle said, honey, when Cynthia said, well, here's the thing. It wasn't just Angela that thought you had a bad attitude in Dallas. We just kind of all noticed that when you feel a certain way, the other girls feel a certain way. Cynthia said that was a collective agreement. K. Michelle said, baby, Shamea can't show me nothing. Hold on, this is so funny. Let me see if I can find that scene. K. Michelle be throwing shade in a way that's Southern. You have to pay real close attention to it, though. It's a Southern thing. It be shade like a mofo. She said, baby, Shamea can't teach me or show me nothing, but take me to the mall. But take me to the mall, because every time I call her, you are triggering for me. I'm going to let you go, baby. Let me go ahead and let you go. You talking about me? Because we're not going to do this. I don't do that. I don't do that. Are you talking to me? Because I don't do that with Black women. Now, I'll review the hell out of a show that a Black woman is on, but all that that y'all do, I don't get down like that. You talking about me? Let me make sure, child, before I have a strong boundary. Hold on, let me make y'all hold up now, because you're not going to fuck up my chat. And if you're not talking to me, let me apologize. Now, I done gave you one, but I won't give you two. I'm a Scorpio. I'm like that. I just don't do that. Hold on, y'all. We ain't blocking nobody. Hold on, because I don't like the negativity. You're going to have to go back to where you came from, Barb, because I don't play them kind of games. And you don't have to agree with me, but what we not going to do, we just don't do that. We don't do that in these parts. Yeah, I think you was talking to me. You said maybe it was a joke. You can't joke with me. That ain't Shamea. But look, no, I'm going to let her troll. I don't mind a little trolling. I be telling my mods. Hold on. I say, y'all be telling my minds. As a matter of fact, let's do this. I'm going to drop the fucking link right now. We can do this the right way. Let's do it. Y'all, hold on. Pardon me. Pardon me. Because I think you have something you want to say, and I'm going to let you say it. I bet you won't click that link. I bet you won't click that link. I bet you won't click that link. Exactly. That's what I thought. I can respect a woman speaking her piece when it's time to do it like a woman. I sure can, like I'm doing mine. I bet you won't click that link. No, she not disrupting nothing. I'm giving her an opportunity to speak her piece. Don't nobody touch that link. That's for her. This ain't even that type of show today. I bet you won't click that link and come up here. And I'm going to let you talk. Watch. I'm going to show you how to do this woman to woman. I'm going to show you how to go after another woman in her fucking face. Now, that's the kind of woman I respect. I say, you know what? Yeah, I got some shit to say to you. I really don't like you like that. Let me come up here. I bet you won't. You're not about that. You're not about that life. You ain't built like that. Y'all. Go with it. You say, what is happening? Nothing. Exactly. This ain't Shiba. This is for Barb. This is for Barb. And if you're Barb, whoever just clicked that link, flash on your camera. Can't nobody see you but me. Somebody click the link named Mel Diva. I'm looking for Barb. All right. That's what I thought. So let's continue. Damn, I'm gonna have to delete the link now. So people won't come up. No, they don't have to be respectful. Sometimes we gotta listen. Sometimes, y'all, we gotta just kind of go off script. I feel like it makes a good show. Okay. I feel like it makes a good show sometimes. You say chill, queen? No, I don't want to. We back. I'm good. I just wanted to give the lady an opportunity to speak her piece. Now we can move on. She didn't leave. She here. Now we can move on. But I really feel like K. Michelle and Pinky backed up off of this thing, right? And what K. Michelle said, baby, Shamea can't show or do nothing for me. But look, take me to the mall. And I said, that's that Southern shade. That's that Southern shade. Because if you listen to her real closely, that was a shade. That was a little insult. I'm not taking anybody but Barb, Kronk, and everybody else. I should have never dropped the link. Sorry, y'all. Let me get this person out of here. I'm gonna have to go. You got to use your real name if you her. But anywho, then she said, I would hate for Shamea to get kicked out of that house. That was shade, because what that implied to me. So K. Michelle, right, and Shamea have been really close up until this point, until Shamea hurt K. Michelle's feelings last week when she said, listen, I'm your friend, but don't nobody like the fact that I'm your friend. So we can assume and anticipate that K. Michelle and Shamea have had some really deep conversations. That they thought that maybe K. Michelle thought they were getting to know each other. So K. Michelle knows some stuff. So when she said, I would hate for that lady to get kicked out that house, what I took from it is, Shamea, do you have, or do you really have as much going on as you say you do? I think you have a lot going on, but at the same time, you don't really have a lot going on. Does that make sense? And K. Michelle kind of let that sink. She let that slip out. That's all I'm saying. Now, do y'all feel like Pinky had a good episode, this episode? Because I feel like she did. And at that point, I started saying, it's a lot going on. And sometimes having too many housewives, like it kind of takes the scene everywhere. It's all over the place, right? You're high, you're low, you're here, you're there. It's all so Bravo, you're gonna have to trim the fat. You're gonna have to trim the fat. Now, initially, I was hell bent on K Michelle gotta go, Pinky gotta go, Shamea gotta go, and Kelly has to go. I want Kelly gone. Well, let me ask y'all this. If somebody had to go, K Michelle, Pinky, Kelly, Shamea, who would you cut? If you had to cut two, who would you cut? Because what I noticed is when the girls were in the room after dinner and the news dropped that Kelly's husband was suing Bravo for $200 million, did you see how all of the women had a kumbaya in that room? I also noticed sometimes when Shamea's not around, the ladies get along. You say you would cut Kelly. We got a lot of Shamea and Kelly. Okay. Oh, Kelly and Shamea. Kelly and Shamea. You say Kelly, K Michelle and Pinky. Mr. Calvon said he got to let K Michelle and Pinky go. K Michelle. We got another Kelly and Shamea. We got Shamea and K Michelle. I think, okay, here's the thing. I don't think you can keep Shamea and K Michelle because I think it's become very obvious. I don't know how Bravo is going to do it, but I think it's become painfully obvious that Shamea is the one that was feeding K Michelle a bunch of BS behind the scenes, if you ask me. Royal Bristolian says, step up. We got another Kelly and Shamea. We got Kelly and Shamea. Okay. Kelly and Shamea. So y'all would actually keep K Michelle and Pinky. I feel like K Michelle and Pinky had a good episode. I do. Pinky seems to understand the assignment. And I think she would be able to, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think, okay, I think she'll be able to merge with the other girls, but not with all four of them. You cannot keep Kelly, Michelle, Kelly. You cannot keep Kelly, K Michelle, Shamea, and Pinky. And I don't know what Bravo's going to do. But I do believe Pinky may have the ability to merge better than Kelly because I feel like Pinky did her big one this episode. She attempted to bridge the gap between K Michelle and Shamea. And I loved it because Shamea was shocked that K Michelle had an issue with her. And she almost cut K Michelle off at the dinner table when they had their one-on-one before the other girls got there. And K Michelle said, hold on, let me finish. You hurt my feelings because you seem to want me to know that you being my friend is a huge sacrifice and nobody likes it. And that puts me in a state of just, damn, what am I, chopped liver? And basically, Shamea is just coming back and telling shit. What Candy them had to say about her relationship with K Michelle. You say K Michelle is funny when she's not producing herself. She can be very witty, right? Which is a good thing for a housewife. You got to be witty. You got to be quick on your feet. Angela's quick on her feet. K Michelle's quick on her feet when she's not using it to be heavy. But I think Shamea had a lot to do with that. Shamea's, let me see. I want to play some episodes or some clips, but shit, last time I got struck for playing those clips. Let me see if I can still do it without getting in trouble. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can get away with one or two. Here we go. Hold on. Well, let's do this. Shamea. Oh, let's talk about the table. At the dinner table, the girls get into a conversation regarding who has slept with the woman. Let's talk about it. Hold on. AC. Hey, AC. You said, I'm tired of cash changes. We need history and actual stakes and friendships. Keep them all unless Kenya is replacing one. Okay. I think you got to split up. I think it's too many newbies. And the friendships are on the surface. And they will continue to be on the surface because there's a gap in finances. I think we got to let Kelly go until she gets her life right. Because otherwise she's going to cling to Shamea because she needs Shamea financially. She needs Shamea to be on the show. She needs Shamea to run into these circles, right? You got to let Kelly go. Her life is all screwed up. But you make sense, Ace, and I have to agree. That makes a lot of sense. All right. So the girls are at the table. They get into a conversation regarding sleeping with women. Pinky says, look, I've been with a woman before. I was in a full-blown relationship with a woman for 3 years. Somebody said, well, did you break up with her to get with your man? Pinky said, no, that had nothing to do with nothing. We broke up just because of some stuff. Boom. Phaedra shady as hell. Phaedra took to her confessional and said, I'm shocked she married a man. Phaedra be giving the tea. What I took that to mean is Pinky might be, according to the Atlanta streets, a full-blown lesbian. Okay. So then Cynthia says, well, I haven't. I just kissed one. Portia goes back. Well, Bravo went back and played the B-roll. The B-roll is when Portia and Cynthia had the kiss like a few years ago, a few seasons ago, whenever, right? And Portia said, wait a minute. She lied. Because she was real aggressive with her kiss and opened her mouth. And this is before anybody knew how I was swinging, honey. Okay? Then Drew, y'all. Wait a minute. Then Drew chimes in. And Drew said that Ralph had her sleeping with other women. That Ralph had her turned every which way but loose in the bedroom. Lord have mercy. That she wanted to be submissive. And she felt that giving in to Ralph's sexual desires would please him. And she thought that was her job as a wife. Then, look, then they went back. And they B-rolled Ralph accusing Drew of being with women at the reunion. Let me tell you how such a dirty dog he is. Now, you know you have that woman in the bedroom with other women. You didn't tell that. But what you try to play the audience on is that she likes women and she's been with women. But you let out the catalyst is you're the one that introduced her to it. How y'all out here letting these men turn y'all out? She was with Ty. You missing my point, though. She was with Ty, but Ralph introduced her to girl on girl. That's the part y'all are missing. He turned his wife out. The girl said, okay, now how you know? You said Ralph ain't made her do nothing. I'm so tired of the victim card being pulled. That's what the girl said. The girl said the man had her in the room with other women's. Okay? So then it came to Shamea, y'all. Did you see that? And they said, Shamea, have you been with a woman? No. I've kissed one, or whatever she said. No. She said no. But she's into girl on girl. PORN. I don't understand that logic. If you don't, or you're not attracted to women, why are you watching that or taking in that type of content? It has nothing to do with being holy, right? But why watch something that you don't like? That's what I just asked the person in the comments. Why are you here? If it makes you question your whole life, I don't like it. Why watch it? If you don't like women, why are you watching women please each other? If you don't like women, why is that on your television screen? It would leave me to believe or to assume you do enjoy it from an intimate standpoint, right? Because it's not like you say, oh, women are beautiful, women are so attractive. You are watching them naked perform on each other, do all kind of things to each other. Girl. Oh, you like, girl. I saw Portia's face. I sure did. That's why we're here, Yvette. So when Shamea said, I don't like women's, Portia gave her the side eye. The reason why I want to elaborate on that is because recently, as they were going back and forth on social media, Shamea called herself being funny and threw shade at Portia and said, Happy Pride. And Portia responded and said, Happy Pride to you too. I'll see you at the reunion. That must have scared the bejesus out of her. Why? Because she corrected it on Angela Yee's interview. This is what she had to say. Hold on. Here we go. This is what she had to say. Let's see.
Portia also did this Happy Pride thing to you and says see you at reunion. Right. And so now people are discussing what is the hidden meaning behind that.
Well, she already said that. I mean, seasons ago that I was sleeping with Candy. I remember that's not.
Okay, I know there was something else going on.
You know what? You would have to ask Portia
because Candy has since.
But I didn't take that as I didn't think it was diss. Me saying Happy Pride
corn emoji, a corn on the
corny.
top.
Yeah, I'm corny. Yeah, I'll take that, and I like corn. Popcorn. I mean, hello, it's fine. When I was asked about her, I had to say one thing about every housewife, and I said Happy Pride. Aren't you in a relationship with Sway? I'm just so confused. Like, why was that a diss?
It felt like a safe, like it was
a safe thing to say. We ain't friends.
See, that's why I don't like Shamea. Say that shit with your chest. Most housewives, when they say, yeah, I said it, like Nene, I said what I said. And Candy, what you said is some BS. You steady backtrack. With Angela, you went after her marriage. Well, I didn't really say it because Charles said it first. Well, then you threw shade and called, Happy Pride to Portia. Well, I mean, isn't she with Sway? How is that throwing sway? How is that throwing shade? Girl, you got to own it as a housewife.
It is right now.
And it is also like something quick.
And it's June. Hello. What are we doing? I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Like, but okay, great. Thank you.
So how are you getting ready for a reunion? How does Shamea prepare for that? Because you don't know who's coming at you.
Well, I know everybody's coming at me, and I'm ready.
Portia also did this Happy Pride thing to you and says see you at reunion. Right. And so now people are discussing what is the hidden meaning behind that.
Well, she already said that. I mean, seasons ago that I was sleeping with Candy.
Okay. But I'm going to say this. I don't know if you were sleeping with Candy seasons ago or not. That doesn't matter, right? As it relates to then versus now. But I do know, here's what I do know. I do know you performed for Candy on that boat as if you were dancing for her. And I know when you realized that she was video recording you, you stopped and she said to you as if she was your man, don't stop now, keep going. And you kept going. And you kept going. I do know that. Now, that was a little strange to me as a married woman because I don't know. You was the only one giving that type of energy. That's it. That's all. Let's continue.
Well, I know everybody's coming. Remember, and I'm ready.
Okay.
And you know what? You would have to ask for because I don't have a friendship.
Candy has since,
but I didn't take that as I didn't think it was diss. Me saying Happy Pride emoji, salvage.
Corn
I don't care. Let me something. I'll take that. I like corn.
Hold on, Angela. Did Angela just call this girl corny? I don't know, y'all. It's just something. It's just something. And I'm just, I'm not digging it. I don't see it for Shamea. I don't. Hold on. I don't. I'm trying to look. Okay. I was gonna look for the scene where they were hold on, here we go. Let's see if I can bring it up. Because this is the interview. Let me look for this other scene. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Let's pull it up. All right. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for playing this scene. Let's see.
I was in a car earlier, y'all, with Angela and Drew. And that was my first time with the 201. And I really enjoyed that car.
That's what I'm talking about. Just watch her facial expressions.
All right. What y'all talked about? We just talked about why there was breakdown in the friendship.
The issue with Shamea is that sometimes you feel like you're good with her, then you gotta look for the knife coming behind your back.
And I realized that it really just be a gap in communication on a lot of things. Angela, are you good though?
I am good. Shamea, at Maggie Madness, did you approach my daughter?
No, I didn't approach her daughter, but I did meet your daughter.
To my daughter.
I did.
That could have been offensive to me.
Now, Pinky said, I realize the group ain't so bad. Now, this is when we talk about the well-being of the show, understanding the assignment in the Housewives franchise. You touch, you go. You touch, you go. You got to have good times and bad times to keep the hype of the show, to keep everybody on edge in the most beautiful way, right? And I don't feel like Shamia and Kelly have been able to do that. Pinky has. K. Michelle is coming around. Pinky said, I just think it's a miscommunication. But hell, Drew and Angela ain't so bad. They transition to Shamea making the comment that she did to Angela's daughter about Angela. My question to you, was Shamea out of line to say that to Angela's daughter? Yes or no? Was she out of line? Y'all quiet now. Okay, everybody's saying yep, yep, yep. We got a lot of yeses. I feel like she was out of line. And not because she's Shamea. Not just because let them kids be kids, even if they're young adults, right? Because if somebody goes to your daughter and say, hi, I forgot her little girl's name. She looks just like her in some aspect. You sure are nicer than your mommy. Yeah, let's not do that. And that's what this is about. Let's finish.
Yeah, I think she is sweeter than you. But that's not something you say to my child. You don't understand what we're going through at this moment.
I don't.
And you overstepped a boundary.
You always feel like I don't understand you. Yes, you don't. You never did.
I feel like you're entitled. You're spoiled.
Entitled.
So I understand if you and I go back and forth, but don't include my daughter.
I feel like everything Shamea does, it's a misdirection to Portia. If she's talking to Kelly, she really wants to talk to Portia. If she's talking to me, it's because she really wants to talk to Portia. If she's talking to Angela, she is probably having...
Now, who did this to Drew? Now, Drew, I'm off topic, y'all, but I had to. You remember when Drew had a meeting with her team? And the mean guy, the personal assistant that they said is lazy, was going off on the hairstylist, and he said them wigs be hideous. Drew, this look was horrible. It was giving look koala bear. I didn't even recognize you. It was giving look koala bear. That's all. I'm sorry. I took y'all down a rabbit hole.
Having Portia's face on Angela's face. I think Shamea at some point just needs something from Portia, and she's not getting it.
I apologize for speaking to your daughter.
What is your implication?
Well, you are a mean girl.
Didn't you imply that my husband didn't love me and that he steps out on me?
Girl, I only rebuttal everything you said to me.
But does that make it right?
Today you said that I was George, right?
And I did say that.
We throw out these allegations. It's very low because people are very quick to believe a lie before they believe the truth.
Well, Shamea, then you have to hold yourself accountable because you said first that her husband doesn't love her. You laugh when Portia says she's going to get down on it. I had to too. Simple yet stylish. I was like, girl, what is that? Send that wig back to the warehouse. Tell your stylist, don't do that again. But Shamea, you implied, you said her husband didn't love her. You was, look, you was with the shits when Portia said that she was going to get a piece of Charles. That's all.
And then when you come with your receipts, sometimes it's too late. Let's bring up the receipts from his wife. Since you want to go ahead. Pinky, can you read this for me? Pinky, read it in your Baltimore voice.
Okay, so here they go, y'all.
Hey, girl. The girl is actually very country. She was like, yeah, well. So read it in my voice.
Okay, all right.
Now Portia is over here saying she doesn't want to be involved, but she's over here adding acting direction.
Girl, bye. You reaching.
From Ashley. Hey girl, call me when you get a chance. I would love to clear up the lie that was told about us. Shamea responds, yeah, because I didn't know you and I had beef and you thought I was sleeping with your husband.
Angela did not say that the wife thought you were sleeping with the husband. Shamea lied.
Shaking my head. Ashley says, never thought that. Angela lying. Laughing emoji. Angela's whole motive is to tarnish your name because of something you said about her, which I didn't ask because it was none of my business. She weird for even telling such a big lie.
Yeah, she would be weird for lying if she actually lied and said that. Shamea miscommunicated what Angela said. Angela asked you if you were sleeping with that lady husband. She never said the wife thought it. What? Okay, we're going to come back to that. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish before I get distracted.
Laugh out loud, especially putting George in it. Very evil of her and not neighborly. Now I got to text her lying ass.
Your neighbor.
I told you they were playing both sides. The neighbors are playing both sides, baby.
Shinzy.
I need the audiobook.
I never thought about having to do a full dissertation on why I'm telling the truth, but now.
But you lied, though. You lied to get that response. You said that Angela believed that the wife thought, her neighbors, that Angela believed you were having an affair with her neighbor's husband. That's not what Angela said. She didn't say, like, y'all get what the hell I'm saying. Shamea misrepresented that conversation.
Now, you won't catch me slipping. Why, Angela?
Girl, you're a goddamn lie. See, what we didn't know is we called Ashley. Ashley and I spoke on the phone for 2 minutes.
2 minutes? That's all y'all got?
2 minutes, absolutely.
I got real receipts. Where are yours?
Ashley said that you told her that I said that she said you George. I said you George. I asked her, did she know you? Because I'm about to go off on you and I don't want to hurt your feelings. So let's get the story straight.
Why are you making up the
one lie at a time, Shalaya. Didn't the message say that I...
It's getting old, Angela. You're just going to have to let it go at this point. You really are. You just going to have to let it go. Because as soon as you let it go, we're going to see that Shamea does not have a storyline. And Bravo, that's why I'm not sure where you're going to go by keeping Shamea on the show. Gerald don't want to be on the show. For 2 seasons, Shamea's storyline has been regarding her relationship breakup with Portia. Angela, if you pull back just a little bit, it's nothing, unless Gerald jumps in and start having like these phenomenal scenes with Shamea. I'm not sure where Shamea is going to go with this. That's all I'm saying. She don't really have a lot going on. She goes to the mall, she shops, she makes sure she has the latest and the greatest. Outside of that, what else?
I said Ashley said that?
So you're basically saying
you even said that George paid.
George said I paid her.
Yeah, for charity.
If George's wife is texting the said person who is allegedly him, that is not true, then I think we have no case here.
I'm going to ride with Cynthia. You're going to have to let it go, Angela. You're just going to have to let it go. Angela didn't lie, but she's just going down a rabbit hole. And after a while, it's going to get just messy and dirty and convoluted and just people are going to forget. Right? It's a nothing burger, pretty much. Now, George wants his son. Oh, Gerald wants his son. I'm sorry. Now, somebody said drop the link. Queen Shiba. Overall, let me ask you something. I think it's good that they went to Scotland. Scotland is absolutely beautiful because I was like, well, damn, now I need to go to Scotland. I want to go to Scotland. The castle had 10 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms. Did you see how Kelly was still complaining? You got your own room this time. Unfortunately, you did not get a bathroom that was connected to your room. And that's what I mean by buzz kill. She was still complaining about not having her own bathroom. And I just think at this point, it's a spirit of complaint. So Bravo's going to have to break up that duo. You said Shamea's on Bravo's show, not Portia. Okay, whatever makes you feel good. It's Portia's job. Portia was there first. Sammy. That's it. The castle was absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that they brought in the Black Scotland to give them the tour. And I love the fact that Portia and Phaedra picked such a beautiful location that the first room they thought was the master bedroom. And he said, oh no, we saved the best for last. What? So there should have been no reason for Kelly or anybody to have any complaints. That's all I'm trying to, you get what I'm saying? Kelly, you just moved into Shamea's townhouse. You don't even have your own home. Why are you focused on a bathroom? You have a bathroom. Why are you focused on the bathroom not being attached to the room? Stop it. Poser. With all the posing and the shucking and the jiving. Look, let me open up the lines to see if anybody has any thoughts about this episode. Your thoughts about Angela versus Shamea. If the tables turn, was this a great episode? Not a good episode? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? It was absolutely gorgeous. And then didn't somebody say on social media that they were complaining about the food? They were about to get their asses kicked out that restaurant. Thank you, too. That's a good reminder. She said, listen, drop a super chat to ask questions. Share your thoughts, especially for those of you that can't call in. We'll make sure we prioritize your thoughts, put them on the screen, or answer any questions that you might have. Let's do this. How many of you really like seeing Shamea on the show? I don't. But how many of you do? You said what Angela did on this episode was absolutely embarrassing. And I like Angela. I think she got beat at her own game. I do. I think she got beat at her own game. I don't think it's a good look. I think that's your cue to leave it alone. Nick, your girl next door, says Kelly and Shamea, I bet, didn't pay for the trip either. It's not their trip. Portia and Phaedra did, which is why in the restaurant, Portia was like, y'all need to stop. We spent a lot of money. Please do not get us kicked out of here. They're about to kick us out of here. And we don't waste all of this money we spent. And y'all, them girls got money. We talking thousands of dollars. And if you've ever been to Europe, it's way more expensive than the US. You get what I'm saying? Way more expensive than the US. And production does not pay for everything all the time. They pay for a portion of those trips when it's your time to host. If you would like to go bigger or better, then you're responsible for whatever the cost share is. So between Phaedra and Portia, they put in a pretty penny, probably. Production probably said, here's the budget. Anything else outside of that, you're going to have to cover. Yeah, I think they did a really great job. I think Cynthia did a really good job. I think Phaedra did a really good job on her event. So far we've had the OGs. Phaedra, great job. Cynthia, great job. Portia, great job. And the only thing that Kelly did was take them to that restaurant to eat chicken and waffles. All right. Oh, Shamea hosted a party that everybody wasn't invited to. You said the point is, yet the complainers are complaining. Yeah, yet again, about the food, about everything. That's why Phaedra said, when you eat what processed vegan burgers and chicken and waffles all day. Yeah, that is a buzzkill. You're out in Scotland and you're complaining about being in Scotland. You're going to have to adapt, sweetheart. That's all. You think Shamea is the representation of Black excellence? Let me ask you this, Bianca, because of who she's married to or because of herself as a woman? Does she embody that on the show? Are you talking about just because of the house she lives in, the way she behaves, her relationship between her and her husband, or the fact that she's married to a rich man? Yep. Yep. You said the pound and the euro are larger than a US dollar. Yep. Higher. I'm sorry. Higher. They did. You said, I believe Phaedra and Portia try to make it nice. I believe so too. I feel like they did a really good job. They did. I thought about that. I said, I wonder who helped them get this castle. And if you caught it, listen, Portia must have got, you know how they put together traders? It made it seem like Portia wasn't in the castle long. She said, from the little bit I did see, that means Portia got eliminated pretty quickly on traders. But I think they made some phone calls and had some connections out there. And that's what I'm saying. Y'all really finna go to this restaurant and act a fool? Y'all are really about to complain about everything? It's not going to be Atlanta's food. And to be honest with you, Atlanta's food is not very diverse, if you ask me. There's some good spots, but it's not very diverse. Tracy Trace says money does not equate to Black excellence. Kimberly says, unless Black excellence is lying all the time, yeah, she's a great representation. Y'all are wild. In the chat. Y'all are wild today in the chat. Listen. Let me see. Shamea has a rich husband, a mansion, 2 beautiful children, but she still does not seem happy. She is still searching for fame and attention. Well, that's your foundation, if you ask me, right? A man ain't gonna make you happy. Baby, y'all ain't ready for this conversation. Let me drop the link. Hold on, let me pin the link. I've been trying to pin the damn link to the chat. First of all, ain't no man gonna make you happy. I wouldn't give a damn if you married up, down, side, or front. You marrying a rich man is not going to make you happy. It's a marriage, not a magician. So you gonna have to get in there and do that work on your own, if you get what I'm saying. If you broken, you broken. And me personally, I'm gonna say this, the foundation comes from the parents, from the household. The foundation comes before you find the man or the woman. You gotta be whole. In the words of RuPaul, how the hell you gonna love somebody else if you can't love yourself? I think there's a lot missing from Shamea, which is why she focused on the external. The things. I'm Atlanta's best friend. I'm always in the mall. I have this, I have that. Everything except the inside. And she could be searching. And she found it. But the marriage is still not probably what she thought it's going to be. Right? Because she's outside. Then you have a family. That didn't fix it. Then we find a surrogate. That didn't fix it. So it's definitely something. I just don't know what it is. That's all I'm saying. But I will say this, it's painfully obvious. And I think Shamea uses a lot of bravado a lot of volume to cover up. But I think she's hell on wheels too. I don't think Shamea is as good as a friend as she passes herself off to be. I don't. Reality Grizzly said people look for another human being to make themselves feel whole. No, baby, you got to listen, be whole within yourself. A lot of folks don't know that. A lot of folks don't know that. That's why I tell people, don't come over here looking for me to say what you need to say for your feel-good moment. You better go find it somewhere else, because I am not the author and the finisher of your faith. You hit the nail right on the head. You said she wants to be everybody's best friend. She doesn't feel loved, and she's always searching for attention and validation. So that would be her mama's problem and her father's problem. See, that's what I'm saying. We don't even know Shamea, y'all. We've seen Cynthia, high, low, marry 3, 4, 5 men just to find herself. We've seen Kenya, high, low, go through mama problems. We've seen Nene, inside, upside down. We've seen Portia. We've seen Phaedra. We've seen Candy. We've seen these girls at their highest and their lowest. Shamea, no. Kelly, no. Too fake. Let's go, Nick, your girl next door. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Queen, I just wanted to say, I feel everybody seems to forget how Shamea came in the show. She came in as quote unquote Portia's best friend, right? But obviously we all saw how she was talking behind Portia's back, and then Portia still did her best to maintain a level of professionalism with Shamea. We saw when she talked to her mother about the situation about Shamea. So Shamea is not innocent. Shamea needs to go, okay? And that's it. All right, that's all.
All right, that's Nick, your girl next door. Shamea reminds me, oh, Lord, I hope this girl ain't listening. I'm about to find out if she is. Listen, there's a girl that I really took a liking to many years ago. Many years ago. Never had no problem with her. Cool. Or so I thought. And the last time we went to her home, Lord have mercy. Child, I hope this person ain't tuned in, but I'm going to say it anyway. The last time we went to her home, she was very hospitable. She and her husband had a house full of people on, have always done a really good job with hosting other people. I quit talking to her. Let me tell you why I quit talking to her. Because she said such and such is on their way over here. I can't stand that hoe. She this, she that, she blue, black. She did this, she slept with my man. And I say, you're inviting her to your house? Yeah. So I was like, okay. And I can't remember what they said. And I said, I ain't getting involved in that. And when that girl came through the door, first of all, drop dead gorgeous. When I tell you they hugged, and this my friend, that's my best friend. It's my friend. Baby, I ain't spoke to that girl since. I ain't spoke to her. I ain't been back over there. I said, oh, hell no. And even though it had nothing to do with me, I don't play them type of games. I said, I don't get down like that. That's what Shamea reminds me of. They talked about that girl like a dog before she got to that house. And when I tell you hugged and kissed like Judas, E2 Brute, I was like, what? Baby, I did my look. Hey, finished eating all that. Very nice. I'm cordial. I didn't talk to the girl, didn't say that. And I thought, oh, hell no. I don't get down like that. Hell no. That's crazy. And you let her in your house. And when she got here, because that was my first thing. You're inviting her to your house. She did all this, and they was a kissing and a hugging and nothing intimate. That's my friend. That's my best friend. And I said, Lord have mercy. Carolina Spine said, I can't fuck with that because you're going to talk about. I was like, this is years of history. Y'all crazy as hell. Grown women. And that girl had no idea that they just ran her down like that in front of that whole house. Ran her down like that. That's very dangerous. Ran her down. Shamea reminds me of that because K. Michelle said, why you got to remind me that don't nobody like me? Why you think that's a flex? If we cool, we cool. Why every time I'm with you, you reminding me don't nobody like me? Surely you have to know I'm a human being and that hurts. I thought me and you was cool. Why you running Portia down to Kelly? Because the stuff that Kelly was talking about, she don't know Portia like that. Now it takes me back to season 16 at your house when Kelly's first words to Portia was, why you sleep with that lady husband? Welcome, Queen Elsa.
Hey, greetings, Queen Shiba. Thank you for having me. You know what? Shamea is an agent of chaos. The reason why I say that, remember when I told you that Pinky is a drunk and they were partying at Shamea's house and they were drinking? Well, we found out that Shamea purposely sabotaged that. Oh, I knew what time it was. Oh, we gonna end up late. And then for her not to invite Portia to Gerald's birthday party, that would have been a way that she could have made up for that, in my opinion.
Well,
Shamea,
and
huh?
invited Dennis.
Huh?
And she invited Dennis instead.
Yes. So when you talk about this whole George situation, we know she has no issue with reaching out to someone's man or ex-man or currently married man.
You remember she reached out to Ralph.
Yes. Girl, you took that right out of my mouth. Remember, her and Portia was sitting down, and didn't she invite Ralph?
Ralph said that Shamea reached out to him. And not only that, him and Shamea was supposed to do a podcast and do business together. You don't remember that?
Listen, do you remember how Miss Pat was on V103 and Shamea and Tigger was friends and Miss Pat lost her job?
I thought they both got fired.
Listen, Shamea got through. Miss Pat gave a notice and said, I'll be gone by August. They walked her right on in the room. Baby, we gonna let you go.
So you think Shamea has something to do with that?
Absolutely. If you look at Shamea and Tigger's chemistry on camera when they're interviewing, it's not far-fetched, but I'm not gonna put that on her because she's got a lot on her plate. But yeah, I could see that. You listen, I think Lil Kim said it best. You know, she didn't, you know, do what she had to do to get to the top. It was, you know, in every word that she dropped, she put pen to paper. I don't think Shamea put pen to paper. I think Shamea took some shortcuts.
Simple Yes Stylist says she's not a girl's girl. I'm gonna say this: if she's not a girl's girl, then that's probably behavior. I'm getting ahead of myself now because we gotta wait for next week's episode. If she's not a girl's girl, I'm gonna say this: probably because she learned it from her mom, because her mama snaked Miss Diane.
Hence why Portia went over to Ricky Smiley and not V103. Because she didn't want to get that same treatment that Miss Pat got, allegedly.
All right. Let me go to Trelane. Thank you, Tulsa.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day on purpose, and thank you for covering these topics. I love your opinions and views. And guess what? We can love these ladies today and hate them tomorrow, but guess what? You make it fun over here. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Because baby, listen, thank you. All right, look, I'm gonna see you next week because we gotta when they start talking about okay.
Okay, baby. Later.
Trelane, welcome, Trelane. What you got?
Well, Queen, I ride hard for you, girl. I'm down 4 flat tires with you, but man, that girl got a special needs baby, man. Let's not tear up the marriage. We can't do them like that, man. Not like that, Queen. I love you now, but we can't do it.
Say it again.
I love you, man, but we can't do it like that. Let's not do it like that.
Earlier?
Huh?
What you talking about earlier?
No, I'm just saying Shamea got that old special needs child, and those kids are very hard to raise by yourself. I was just saying, I love you, man, but let's not comfort a little girl. Let's not comfort a young lady marriage.
Look, oh, wait a minute. Hold on now, Trillene. We got to talk now. We grown now.
Yeah, we grown. 59.
I don't think we talk enough as women when we spot there is a problem. See, the men are taking her out to eat. They'll go to the cigar bar, have a glass of whiskey, go play golf, and they gonna hey, say, man, I noticed you ain't been home a lot. You and your wife good? No, we gotta talk about it. You see what I'm saying? We do. Shamea's outside.
Yeah, but I think Angela's a bit of a liar. Her hand was shown. And the gag is supposedly Portia Mama slept with Shamea's dad.
Girl, you quit lying on Miss Diane.
Girl, I'm trying to tell you, girl. But Diane used to be outside too.
Girl, where you get that
girl? Child is a legend, but I'm trying to. We gonna find out a lot on the next show at the reunion.
Well, we gonna coming out next week.
Yeah, a lot of it's gonna come out, but mostly at the reunion.
But look, so now let's get back to this marriage. Hold on, I think that's my phone. So here's the thing. Typically, the number when men don't want to come home, they stay out. They pick up extra jobs. They go to golf, in and out. Shamea is displaying that type of behavior, period. You see what I'm saying? And me not talking about it ain't gonna make it better. Or me talking about it isn't coming from her marriage. I'm saying there's something off. There's something off, whether we want to acknowledge it or not.
But on the Carlos King, he said he doesn't want to stop her from doing anything she wants to do. And she does have those jobs with the Hawks and, the team. She's always had those jobs. And he knew that coming in.
Not the jobs, because she got to work if that's what she likes. I'm talking about all the other stuff.
Yeah. But I think Angela lying.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Well, thank you, Trillene.
Well, thank you, Queen. It's a pleasure.
Okay, come back next week, okay?
All right, we'll do.
Okay. All right, that's Trillene. I hope I say this name right. Isa? Or Aza? Aiza?
Hey, Aza.
What are your thoughts?
All right, Queen. Okay. I'm sorry I don't have my picture up there because I'm on another phone. But I called the other day. But yes, no, I completely disagree. I agree with you. And even before I heard you say what you said today, Angela did not lie. She didn't lie at all. And Shamea completely told a lie. She lied. She misrepresented what she said. And that's the only reason why Ashley, responded the way she did. She lied and made it seem like Angela lied on Ashley and said that she said that it came out of her mouth, but that's not what happened. I replayed it. I watched it twice. And I'm like, Shamea is a liar. She is a liar. And, this has nothing to do with her jobs and everything like that. I'm sorry, but if you lie all the time, you're going to get called out. And the only reason why Angela responded the way she did is because Shamea came at her first. And I think the whole thing with her daughter is the reason why she's been so sensitive, because she did approach her daughter. She did say something out of line, out of order, period. It's like, if you arguing with somebody, if somebody is your op, why in the world would you go and talk to their children? I mean, that's completely disrespectful. It's always been. It's never going to be respectful. I mean, just look how men react to that. Men react completely. Look how 50 Cent reacts when somebody disrespects or talks to his son. Look how other people in other arenas react. But I guess because it's women, we're supposed to, maybe because it's the show. No, you don't talk to someone's daughter, someone's children. You keep it respectful. And I think she's completely out of line, and she's all the smoke that she's getting, she deserves. She's not Black excellence in her actions. I mean, she's beautiful, You know, we don't want nothing to happen to her or her family. I pray for success for her, but she needs to show up and do better, period. So I agree with you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
So come back next
ma'am.
girl when I get to talking about the mamas, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right. Look, so Sammy said it's biased. And you know what? If y'all feel like it's biased, you supposed to be up here going hard for your side. You supposed to be going, Sammy, that's why y'all got to click the link to make sure that there's representation. Make sure you at the table. Let's go simple yet stylish. What you got?
Hey Queen, hey Paris. I hope everyone's doing well. So based on this week's, or shall I say last Sunday's episode, as much as I love Angela, I don't think there's any truth in what she's saying in regards to Shamea and George. And just based on what you've shown us and what George looks like, I pray to God that Shamea did not sleep with that man, or she didn't have any intimacy with that man. But what I will say is, for the people that I don't want to say they don't understand, but just to sum it up, when you decide to put your life out there on TV, particularly lifestyle, people are going to talk about you. People are going to share their opinions on you, your family, and what you choose to put out there. That's just what comes with it. And I think some of Shamea's fans, or the people that ride for her, don't understand this. I think Shamea herself doesn't understand this, because every single time she has an altercation with one of the women, she starts crying and saying that they're coming for her marriage, or they're coming for her children, etc. But you signed up for this. This is what you decided to do. And this is clearly what you want to do, because you're still here. And this season, she seems to be coming strong, like, no, I'm not going anywhere. My husband said that it's okay for me to have this thing of mine if I want it. So I'm going to stand here 10 toes down, etc. Like all the things that she's saying on these interviews and podcasts and stuff like that. So if this is what you signed up for, you just need to take it on the chin and keep it moving. I also think Kelly is living way above her means. And I know that there's people out there that are like this, but Kelly's one absolutely blows my mind. I still can't get over the fact that she paid $70,000 to get her teeth done, when that could have been a down payment on a house. I can't believe that she's paying all this money on clothes and makeup and beauty maintenance for her dog as well. And she can't even buy her daughter a car for college. And I just don't understand why she's on the show. This is not giving Housewives of Atlanta. And I know we transitioned from what we used to seeing, but this is not what we want to see. It's not what we want to see at all. And to even find out that she was sued by a 19-year-old girl that worked in one of her restaurants, and what the 19-year-old girl won the case because apparently Kelly was paying her staff on and off via Apple Pay. She's just an absolute mess, and I think she needs to get her priorities in the right order. Another thing as well, I love that the internet are bringing up when Shamea tried to accuse Eva of sleeping with Missy Elliott, because that is a prime example of the type of person she is. And now that it's happening to her, she can't handle it. And I know it's not Saturday, but I said what I said.
All right. That's simple yet stylish. Thank you for coming up. Live well, LA. You got the floor. What you got? Welcome back.
Hey, Queen Shiba, thank you so much. I wanted to tell you that you hit the nail on the head with Shamea. She don't want to be in that house. I was married to the successful, older African uncle who was the provider, and I spent every day at Target. Every single day I would go to Target because anything was better than being in that house. It's big, beautiful, 5-bedroom, 3-bath. I could not stand being in that house. And that is what Shamea is going through. Shamea hates being in that home. No matter how many elevators from the Hilton or the Sheraton or the Ritz-Carlton she installs, she hates that house. She hates that man, and he probably hates her. Or he probably does like the same thing that all of the, I don't want to create diaspora wars, but they do the isolation, they do the emotional ABUSC. They ignore you if you're not doing exactly what they say. They won't talk to you. They'll turn their feelings on and off. Shamea and her husband are in that house tolerating each other. She don't want to be home because if she wanted to be home, she would be home. If everybody thinks her marriage is as beautiful as we're supposed to believe, why all this? Why are you still working for the Falcons and the Hawks? Why do you need to be around these people? Why are you partying and vacationing with Candy and Todd? You had two tiny babies at the time. Shamea hates her life. And people who don't have it or never been around that type of money and access don't understand that the money will never buy your happiness. She doesn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. It didn't matter how many bills he paid, how many things he offered. I hated it. And he hated me. And I can tell from the way Shamea is never home, she's going through the same exact thing. It's only a matter of time before she files. Because he'll stay. He has everything he has nothing to lose.
Hold on. Let me listen now. Keep going.
She'll file. She'll have to file. That's the only way she's going to get out of it. And then she'll have the glow up and confidence that she needs. There is something that is mentally battering her every day. And that is that marriage. It is beating her down and she has no escape. And on the show, she has nobody to confide in because she wants Kelly to think that they have this certain relationship. She is, the Christian woman, the Christian woman who cannot divorce because everybody tells you, give it to God, pray on it. It's going to work itself out. Keep praying, keep praying. She can't escape and she doesn't have an ally there that she can confide in where we can get the truth.
She did. Portia said something. She said, well, actually, Shamea said something. Shamea was on Angela. Was it Angela Yee? Or was it Carlos King? She did them kind of back to back. And I think it could have been where one of them, she said, it was Carlos King. And he said, did you tell Portia you was coming on the show? She said, not really. Not really. I kind of showed up to shoot with this girl. And then I decided this is Portia's life. You remember she said that? Portia, y'all don't be listening. So this means this girl was contemplating what it would be like. He said, have you ever thought about being a housewife before Portia became one? No. So it wasn't until after Portia became, yeah. But then I shot a scene to support another woman. I forgot her name, Kiara or whatever. And I just thought to myself, this is Portia's life. I can't do this. This is Portia's life. Then he said, well, when it was time for you and Bravo invited you, did you tell Portia? Yes. What'd she say? She said, what is Gerald going to think about this? About that too?
Yep.
What is Gerald going to think about this? People don't understand what that means.
Because the people who are closest to her understand that in her life, in Shamea's real life, Gerald is not a real factor. Gerald is not really her partner. In the life that Shamea lives, that we don't see, and the life that Shamea has in the Atlanta streets, Gerald's not a factor in Shamea's real life. That's why she's still doing the show. That's why she's still going to be on Tubi. Gerald's not her husband. They just playing one on TV.
Let me ask you, is that his wife?
No. For his family, yes. And she'll perform for her family and for his family. But there's only a matter of time before she has to file divorce and get out of there. They won't live a life together. They won't live a life together.
Say that though. I don't agree or disagree, but just so that the audience can get a better understanding of why you think what you think.
I just see it. I see it. And especially the way, did K. Michelle say she's always at the mall?
Always. She said every time I call that girl, she in a different store.
I didn't have the money they have, but I was in Target and I was in Home Goods every single day. Every day. Now this girl can go to Chanel and go to Louis Vuitton or Saks, Neiman's. Me, I was at Home Goods and Target daily, Queen, daily.
This person says the Shamea hate is unnecessary. Y'all got to use different words. When you hear something, when you hear something, and I tell people this in corporate America, even in healthcare, I had to sign something from one of my brother who was on life support. And the lady said, right here, mute up for me real quick.
Okay.
Live well, LA. you had a little bit of background. And the lady said, can you sign right here? And I said, no, that's okay. I don't want to go for that or whatever. She said, okay, I'll just put that you refused. I said, I didn't refuse, I declined. So you got to be able to, I'm a wordsmith. Use your words. She's like, oh my God, you're right. You didn't refuse. You had a choice. And I declined. So don't put refuse because that's misleading. That's very
I agree 100%. And there's no hate. There's no hate, but we have to talk in reality. We have to talk in facts.
Yeah.
The girl don't want to be there. She don't want to be. It's no reason that a wealthy woman, even though, come on, the wealthiest of women, maybe you brunch twice a week. Maybe you vacation twice a month. You're at the mall every day at Lenox. You're at Lenox Mall every day and you're a multi-millionaire? Come on. Something's wrong.
Jamie Baby says, I do not agree with that. Gerald loves Shamea. This is not fair to say, ma'am. Shamea just wants to be famous. Gerald does not. You know, love conquers all. And a part of love is a win-win situation. Your wife wants to do something. I'm not saying he doesn't, right? Your wife really wants to do something and be on television. Has he given enough? Has he filmed enough to make sure she keeps that role on television?
Well, I just wanted to give my 2 cents because I know when K. Michelle said that woman is at the mall every day.
And even with I felt like that was a little tea.
That was a dig. That was absolutely giving us insight into what's really going on. You out with your mother every day. Wasn't Portia and her mama together every day when her and Cordell were divorcing?
That was a codependent relationship because Cordell was mean to her behind the scenes.
Hello?
Behind the scenes. We didn't know nothing until he threw that dress in that box and got mildew all over it. Remember?
And that's what's going. Listen, I think we all got insight into their relationship over the last few episodes. And I'm not saying for sure, but I'm saying there's smoke. So there's probably a fire lit somewhere.
That's all I'm
around
saying.
Sterling Mansion.
Now, here's the thing. I'd be the first. I was the first one saying, girl, don't mess up your marriage. Don't want to be on this show too bad that you lose your marriage. Stay home. Yep. But you can't make somebody be home. Just like you can't make a man that be home that don't want to be home. Y'all cannot change the rules when it comes to us talking about women. If the girl don't want to be home, she don't want to be home. Everybody, Shamea has never denied that she's outside. When confronted with it, she'll say, but your husband outside too. She's never said, no, I'm not. When she went to Portia's birthday party in Nashville, Tennessee, she got so stressed out and so anxious because Gerald called her. He was upset because the child was sick. And he said the nanny had it too cold and this and this and that. She set up everything so that the baby would be taken care of when she left. But her husband called and said, the nanny did this and this and that. And you saw her literally like, people would say, oh, that's because she's worried about the kid. Well, I don't think Shamea would leave her kid with anybody that's not capable of taking care of it. It's the fact that the husband called and had a qualm with the nanny. And when your husband starts complaining about you being away, that puts a lot of different pressure on you. That makes you feel less than. That makes you feel guilty and not about being there. That makes you feel like, wait a minute, I don't want him to. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, of course, because you know when you get home, he's not going to speak to you for 3 weeks.
Oh, is it that bad?
You're not performing. You're not performing. Why are you gone? And your mother and the nanny are here. Where are you? When you get back, I'll be gone. And when you call me, I won't answer. And that'll go on for 3 weeks.
What? Now,
that'll go on for weeks. He won't speak. And I don't mean good morning, little conversation. I mean, they will alienate completely from you for weeks. No communication in the same home. Shamea knows why she was nervous. She knows why she was nervous. You can go on TikTok. All the Nigerian, all the Congolese, all the Kenyan women say the same thing. When you get with these very successful African and I'm intelligent. I know all the men in different countries aren't the same. But when you get with them, when they have that success and you are dependent, you have to perform to a level that your body probably isn't even used to. People couldn't even touch me on the shoulder. I had so much stress that my body would cave if somebody took their fingertip and touched my shoulder. I'm telling you, that beautiful life that we get to see from the outside looking in is not what Shamea is experiencing. YouTube influencers go to the mall every day. You know, like that's you talking about multimillionaire, the biggest HVAC companies in multiple states. You at the mall every day. You want to be seen. You want to be picked up. You want to be hit on, because you know in that home none of that is actually happening for you.
So you think, let me get just your opinion based on being in a similar situation, although completely different, but similar. And feel free. You're saying that African men possess a different culture and a different level of expectation about their wives behind closed door.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And sometimes,
absolutely, 100%.
Okay,
and
so
I mean, you have to be on 24/7.
What does that mean to be on?
Performing as a wife 24/7. You have to be on.
Okay, Jamie says, wow, this is harsh in my opinion. Some people can afford to shop every day.
I think you're missing the point. That's not about shopping every day. Do you know, if you know multimillionaires, JB, they're not at the mall every day, babe.
Not every day.
No.
Go ahead.
And wouldn't they be ordering? They would have a personal shopper that would send them a message. Hey, we got this in. This just dropped. I put one aside for you. Nobody's going to Lenox Mall every day as a millionaire. Nobody. Do you think? I mean, like, even a quad, even a Yandy, even a, what's the other one? Toya. Toya ain't at the mall every day. Even Toya ain't at the mall every day. You talking about Shamea with this husband who's 70 years old and his family's always around?
Let me read this one. Miss Neen says, child, women choose to turn a blind eye to so many things. I think because when you haven't had a man to be able to show up for you as a woman, particularly a Black woman, right? Because they tell us that the men outnumber us 8-1. And then you get a man like this who seems very, hold on, let me get my words together, who seems very tender, patient, soft-spoken, but he can't be. Let me tell you why. He can't be none of that. Because if you understand how dynamics work amongst men that are millionaires, is nothing passive about him to be able to run one of the biggest HVAC companies, right? You got to have some oomph about yourself. You have to be extremely masculine. You fire people, you get rid of people. You have to have a keen sense of awareness. You're a man that makes decisions, and good leaders makes quick decisions, fast decisions. You got to know who to trust, who not to trust. I think Gerald, I'm not going to say he's a mean man. I think he's sharp. I think he's
sharp, and he's running a tight ship on purpose. Nothing slips past him. Nothing. He knows everything she does. I'm not saying he's smarter than probably, the most of the majority of us.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. He knows what's going on. He doesn't want to rock the boat because he's only interested in making money. And that only interest in making money translates into his marriage as well. I don't need to do anything for you. I've given you this. I remember my husband said, you will take what I give you.
Oh, keep that thought. Hold that thought. Let me go to the next caller. Hold on. Jamie, welcome, Jamie. What are your thoughts, Jamie?
Peace and blessings, Queen Shiba. Just wanted to chime in. I'm Jamie, baby. So I might have missed this caller's prior statements, but I've met Shamea and Gerald in real life, and I totally agree. if she's going to stay on the show, Gerald should participate more. Now I'm not married to an African, so whatever the caller said about African men, that is her opinion. I'm married to an American, but my husband actually has a connection to Gerald. I won't say too many details, but in the business world. And Shamea and Gerald, they're a loving couple. Clearly, I don't know their personal, deep-rooted business, but I don't think what we're seeing on camera is what it is. Gerald is just, he doesn't want to be a part of the show. I just don't think he wants to jeopardize his business. I think Shamea needs to refine herself, but she's really a darling person in real life. And I don't love how she acts with all the twerking and, the shenanigans, but that's really how she is. She's very energetic, very giving, but that's what I know from my personal experience. So I just thought the previous caller, that it's a little harsh, but I can respect the opinion. But as someone who has met these people in real life, and our husbands have a connection, I'm just like, I know my husband would not want me on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't know, but I just think that she does want to be famous, right? And maybe she's gone about it the wrong way. But I like her. I like her. I think someone earlier said she has all the things. She's beautiful. She's raising her family. She has the marriage. But sometimes all that glitters is not gold. So maybe what we're seeing, maybe what I've known them to be in person is not what it is. But I'm going off based on what I know.
Okay.
So, and I'm not married, like I said, I'm not married to an African. My husband is a blue-blooded American. So, people go through different things, I guess, culturally. But I think Gerald is, yes, he's older. He does love her. He probably said, okay, go do your thing on this show. And he didn't want to film, but he's going to have to dig a little deeper and film a little more in order for her to stay. I think that's only fair. So that's it.
They have a question for you. So LC Rich says, does the caller think Shamea should stay on the show considering all that's happening?
I think she can stay. I think she should really have a conversation with Gerald and I guess her personal producer as to what can be shared, because he has a deep family history. And, maybe they can, talk more about it. They want the son, right? So, and I think it was rumored, not that it's her that's pregnant, but it's rumored that someone on the show is pregnant, maybe her surrogate. There's somebody who is currently having a boy for them.
Okay, so you said something. You said, I think he wants the son, but 2 episodes ago, the coordinator of medical services right at the surrogacy clinic said, Gerald hasn't come anymore. Gerald quit coming to the meetings.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
You remember that? I don't know if you
I do remember that episode. Yeah, and it was hurting Shamea. I think those are things that they need to share on the show, have that conversation and, show that vulnerability as a couple, because as married people, those are real life conversations. And I think,
Keep going. No, keep going.
Yeah, no, I think that's I've seen and heard so many different people say Rhoa, especially this season, it's all a bunch of bickering women. Like, where is the marriage component? Why are we not talking about real life issues? And that is a real life issue happening to Shamea and Gerald.
Well, here's the other side of that, right? So you have a couple, and I think you make a good point, right? Where he's not wanting to come anymore, right? You have, he's checked out for whatever reason, whether it's a technicality or not. the coordinator, the medical coordinator, say your husband doesn't come to the meetings anymore. So I'm going to guess there's at least 3 or more meetings he's missed. That's the first thing, that have not been on camera. The second thing is, that's a couple, a marriage component. But outside of that, how does that make her feel as a woman showing up to a clinic to try to get a child that you want, and you won't even come with me?
Right.
You won't come with me. You won't come to the appointments with me. Is that a part of the African thing that the other call, well, LA was trying to explain?
Maybe that's it. It's because it's heartbreaking. You want your husband to support you every step of the way, you know. So I agree. I do agree. But I think she should tough it out and show that on the show.
Oof. Can I chime in, Queen?
Yeah.
And I don't want to dispute the people that know Shamea or have a different opinion, but what I want to emphasize, 2 things most importantly, is the overperforming. So Gerald also performs in public. That's why if you and your husband would go out with him, you don't see the part that slips in that Shamea's at the mall every day. You don't see the part that slips in that he's not going to the fertility or surrogacy appointments. The overperforming is from both ends. So nobody sees it, but there are little cracks that we get a glimpse into what's really happening. So of course they look lovely and they go to church every Sunday. They dress up, their kids look nice. Everybody's hair is done. They show up in the nicest of cars because we had 3 luxury cars. I could get my dream car every other year. What I'm saying is nobody knows until little bits and pieces start to fall through, because you can only wear the mask on international TV for so long.
I'm sorry. You said you know them?
No, I'm saying you know them.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, I do. So there's a difference, and I disagree with you.
I understand what you're saying, because you do know them in business and in passing and dinner, and I don't want to refute your experience. What I'm saying is both parties in that marriage overperform for the public because he is a businessman. You're not going to go to dinner.
Hold on, LA. Yes. Let her finish. Go ahead, Jamie.
No, I'm just saying I don't agree that Gerald is overperforming. He's a very humble African man, Kenyan man. His family, it's even though they have all the wealth, he's not overperforming. I've seen this man cry and speak his real feelings about other people. So I'm trying to understand where you're getting this information from, because I'm telling you that's not how he is.
So y'all won't, like, y'all don't have to refute each other. I think that's the part where Live Well LA, where Jamie is saying she wishes Shamea will show all components of it. Is that what you're saying, Jamie?
Yeah, well, in the vulnerability of it, you know, sure. I mean, I don't know where this young lady is saying he's overperforming. If anything, in real life, like in their real life, he's even more humble. Like, he doesn't want to be on camera, but Shamea does. So he's trying to support his wife by, I don't want to say allowing her, but if you're married, you understand what that means. You have conversations with your partner, right? My husband's right here in the living room. I'm going to consult with him about certain things before I make big decisions. And this being on national television, it's a big decision. And Shamea, she's very sensitive, right? Tried and true Taurus. And I think she has the components to be a great housewife, but she's too critical of herself and who likes her. And maybe if she heard what, like, the caller is saying, she would be offended, because that's not how they are. I thought maybe you knew them.
No, what I'm saying to you is I'm saying, and like you said, if you're married, then you know you don't show up to dinner with your husband's business partner. I don't want you to be offended, because I can sense a little energy.
No, I'm not offended, baby. I'm listening.
Okay, calling me baby is a little condescending, and I get why you're doing it.
Hold on. Let me get in here. I don't think anybody means any harm. I
just
No
want to have a
harm.
conversation about
No
what
LA.
harm, no foul.
Yeah. Okay, LA. Go ahead. But I don't think she means any harm.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I don't think you and your spouse would show up to a business meeting and tell them, oh, he has stopped coming to meetings about our fertility, right? So that's what I mean in the performance. All marriages,
Okay.
all couples perform for someone because nobody gets everything that's happening in the home. What
Right.
I'm saying,
Sure.
in addition to that, there are elements of Shamea's outside of home activities that lean towards what I experienced as a woman married to, and I'm not just saying an African, I'm saying a very successful African.
Okay.
And I believe that points in a different direction because this man who I was married to also traveled for business, also was a high earner, and also had to show face in certain situations where we may have just argued, but he needs to go to a meeting or he needs to go to a dinner meeting, and I need to get dressed and look cute to show up. That's all I'm saying. I don't know them personally, but when there are little cracks in Shamea's story that's not coming from Shamea, it makes me believe that she doesn't want to be at home. If everybody
Oh.
says you're always outside, why? Why don't you want to be at
Maybe
home?
Gerald is just he's boring. But she'll take a boring man than a husband that's outside like
But
other
then
people's husbands.
I agree.
I'll
That
take
could be
it.
it.
I'll
That
take
could be
it.
it.
I'll take a
I
boring man
understand, but what I'm
every
saying,
day
LA, let her
over a
finish
man
the thought.
outside.
LA.
So
Go
maybe
ahead.
she would rather, as a woman, I'm LA, I'm sorry not to cut you off, but maybe Shamea would, as a woman too, she's hosted in Atlanta. She's a tried and true Georgia Peach, born in Decatur. She knows Atlanta tried and true, right? Gerald, on the other hand, is from the African background. He's just more this type of African, he's more laid back and he's older. He's not trying to be outside with her.
I
Right?
understand absolutely. I get that. But then we
LA,
move
hold
the
on.
goal.
Here's the thing now. I don't want anybody to qualify. I don't want y'all to go back and forth, right? But I do want y'all to talk. I don't want either of you to qualify your thoughts or your opinion. So you don't nobody has to qualify it. Peachy Peaches say, so are you going to send her text that you defended her on? I don't know what you're talking about.
Who, me? Jamie?
No. I'm just reading. No. I'm
Oh.
reading the comment to me. Like, I don't understand what you mean. Are you going to send her text that it's on the screen? I have no idea what you're talking about,
Oh.
PGP. I don't know who that person's talking to, but I don't follow. So hold on. Let me ask you something, Jamie.
Yes.
Did you watch the episode where Kelly was inebriated in their home and came to tears wishing Gerald a happy birthday and how much good man he was? You're married. I'm married. And I think everybody up here.
Yes, I heard your feedback
what are your
too.
thoughts on that? And keep it real. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be in my house. That would never happen in my home. I think sometimes Shamea doesn't, and I can guarantee you other friends of hers have told her this. She doesn't always read other female friendships well. And maybe in her watching everything back, it will register. I have a feeling it will. That would never happen at my home. Not on my husband's birthday. Yeah, Kelly's just doing a lot, and I think she's taking advantage of Shamea. But I don't know. I think someone said it earlier. Shamea doesn't seem to have anyone else on the show that is full support. And I think Kelly is just a leech. And maybe because Shamea can afford to help her, she feels comfortable having her around. But I think a lot of the things that Shamea has done, bringing a basket with condoms in it for your teenage daughter, that's inappropriate. All the twerking, like I said, she needs to mature in a way, right? And I don't think she was going to interrupt Kelly in that moment, maybe because she knew she was drunk. But Yeah, I think that was inappropriate.
But okay, let me ask you this, and this is gonna be more head on. Do you feel like Kelly was flirting with Shamea's husband, throwing herself out there?
Queen Shiba, I've heard your commentary about Kelly, and I and I love it. I love it. Yeah, I don't think she was flirting, but I don't know Kelly, but how it comes off on the show, she's a desperado. So yeah, I mean, it was a little much because I wouldn't want another woman saying those things about my husband unless it was his mother or his sister or my mother. So not my friends, none of my friends. My friends can't even social media be friends with my man. Well, he's not on social media, but even like I'm very stringent like that. That's me.
Well, especially if you're not home, right? You're not home. Your husband's
Mhm.
very flexible, and then you have this girl that just pulled up last season telling him how much of a good father he is and how
Right.
she wants a man just like him. I would have put her
Mhm.
out very
Yeah, I
quiet.
know you would.
Very quietly, though. I would have
Oh,
I
okay.
would eat and then say, "Girl, I think you've had too much to drink. We're gonna call you."
Right. Yes. Carry her away. Yeah, Kelly just does a lot, but I think that's the only thing Shamea is holding on to. I think with someone said it earlier, she is really hurt not by Portia. I won't say by, but she is hurt about the friendship breakup. I think both her and Portia. But I think whenever we see the details of the mama conversation or breakdown, we all can pick a side, right? Because I know my friends can't talk about my mama ever and think that it's going to be cool after that.
Okay, that's fair. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. Look, so we're gonna wait till next week. We're gonna listen. You said we're gonna have to wait and see what goes down about these mamas.
I
And
guess we'll see.
okay, because this is what we're gonna do. Let me tell y'all what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Monday night party in the chat. We're gonna do a lemon drop. We have to
Oh,
for the
gosh. The
okay.
lemon drop. Okay.
Okay, so that's gonna be party in the chat. I'm gonna give my take. And then we're going to come back on Tuesday. I'm going to open up the floor for all of you. What time do y'all want it? This time about Tuesday? Later in the evening on Tuesday? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I think that's fair. I think evening time works for most people.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, they said the show is on a hiatus. Okay, 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks.
okay.
Okay, got it. Got it. Simple yet stylish. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Queen. Sorry, I just want to impose a quick question to Jamie if she's still up here. My thing it fizzled out a little bit, but
Yeah,
she
she's here.
was okay. So, Jamie, if you don't mind me asking, because when Queen asked you, if you think Shamea should like stay on the show and stuff, you said yes, but she should show us every element of her life. And I just want to know, as a housewife, where the main component is showing us your life as a wife, how is she supposed to do that when her husband has no interest in being a part of the show?
Hi, Stylish. I spoke to you in the chat. No, I really meant in the lane of the fertility. No one's ever going to show everything. No one. Like LA said earlier, in real life, everyone is not going to walk around exposing every part of their marriage. But if she chooses to be on a platform like this, especially in a space of like quote unquote housewives, where a lot of people aspire to be a wife, or a lot of people are happy they're no longer a wife, the relatability, I think fertility is one of those avenues that a lot of women, Black, white, Asian, Indian, can relate to. And I think it would be, because I think that's one of her main topics why she's on the show. So I was speaking about the fertility part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Y'all, this
Yeah.
has been an excellent conversation. What are your final thoughts? I'm gonna let Jamie go in simple yet stylish, and then they say we got 2 weeks, y'all. We have 2 weeks before they come back with the next episode. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have a viewer takeover. That's you all. And then we're going to have not this coming up week, but the next week, Monday night party in the chat. But what are your final thoughts on this episode, Jamie?
I also, since Simple came up, I appreciate her in LA. I appreciate the energy. I wanted to what we were talking about in the chat. This whole thing about Atlanta, the stereotype. I was raised in Atlanta. I've never kissed a girl, never been with women. That is not, I understand that it seems like this is the direction. I think that's what Stylish and I were talking about. That seems to be the direction they're pushing the Atlanta housewives into, and there's nothing wrong. I'm all about pride, but I feel like for the rest of us who are straight, it may be a bit, it just seems a little strange that that's the direction they're pushing. I'm always going to be tried and true supporting the Black franchises as best as I can. But I think for me, in terms of what I relate to, I'm more of a Potomac petal. The Atlanta Housewives is not really a vibe for me anymore. I wish Shamea all the best. I wish all of them the best. I think Kelly can go. I think K. Michelle is a kook. She can go. I really think that was not a good choice for the show. There's so many successful women in Atlanta, whether they're divorced, married, engaged, women that are working so many different professions. Atlanta is not the Black Mecca that it used to be. And I don't want to get used to this new raunchy, salacious vulgarity. I don't want to see that in Black women. That is not what I know in my own life. We're sexy as hell with clothes on. Yeah, you can have on a bathing suit, but I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing the vulgarity, the big booties every day. Like, what are we doing? And there's already a lack of self-esteem with our wearing the wigs and the lashes and, sure, sauce it up. But how I grew up, how I live my life today, I know how to zhuzh it up, right? But I don't know what natural beauty is anymore. I see it in their faces, but I'm tired. I'm tired of the vulgarity, mainly. So if there are women, especially knowing Black women, the statistic about marriage, I want to see us thrive and do better. And not that everyone has to be married, but it's a housewife show, right? That's it.
All right. Very powerful. Thank you, Jamie, for coming up. Jamie, we hope you come back. I hope you come back.
Thank you. I love all of you and I love your commentary.
Was this your first time calling in?
It was my first time calling in, but I've been listening to you. Once I discovered you, I fell in love with you.
Oh my God, thank you.
And you're in the palace. The palace is amazing.
Thank you. Because I had a rough start today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I caught a little live earlier. I caught it a little late. And shout out to your moderators. I know it can be a tasking job, but I love this channel and I love your community. You too, LA. Okay.
Thank you. Let's give the moderators a round of applause. They do a really good job. Y'all, I have a very complex personality behind the scenes. And I kind of know they're like, damn, one day she wants this, the next day she wants that. And they've been with me for a long time. A long time. If I find something I like, you have my loyalty for life. I'm not switching. I'm not changing. They've been here. They gonna be here. We rocks and roll and rumble and argue and fuss and fight. And they really do a great job of really being patient with me. I trust them. They trust me. So thank you for giving them a shout out, Jamie. We appreciate you. Y'all, didn't Jamie do her thing today?
Yay.
Yes. And this was such a great conversation. Strong opinions. we got a lot of strong women over here. We deliver, present different, wrapped in different beautiful packages. But when I tell you they can call in and stand on business and ain't nobody backing down. And that's the way I love it. Simple yet stylish. What are your final thoughts?
So, just based on, I love everything that Jamie said, and we had a great discussion in the chat earlier on, and we were just to basically piggyback off what she was saying. She's absolutely right in terms of that whole stereotype about women, particularly Black women in Atlanta. Even though I don't live in Atlanta, I travel there a lot and I have friends over there, and a lot of them, well, actually all of my friends are nothing like what's being portrayed in the media or what's on TV. Again, not to bash anyone or not to, try to belittle anyone or anything like that, but I just hope that that stereotype can be pushed away, because that's not the truth, or that's not the case for every woman or every family in Atlanta. In terms of the last episode, like I said before, I think Angela is probably reaching too much with this whole George and Shamea situation. Whether it's true or not, she should just leave it alone, because like you said, Queen, there's more important things that she should be focused on, such as, the issues with her and her daughter and, all of that stuff, just the family life. And in regards to Shamea, I just think, to sum it up, not just based on this episode alone, just how she is as a person, you really need to be careful of people who claim to be everyone's best friend. Being a people pleaser in life never brings peace. And I've come across people like Shamea who claim to be friends or cool or close with everyone. And whenever there's an issue, they are always the common denominator. So you have to be very, very careful of people like that. Alongside her relationship with K Michelle, I also think K Michelle should maybe wise up a bit, because someone who is very, very close friends with people that you have deep-rooted issues with, I would stay clear away from someone like that, especially if they're coming back to tell me that, they're saying, oh, don't be friends with her. I would have taken 100 steps back and stayed there. So I think Shamea, people just need to be careful, because you can't be a people pleaser. You can't be everyone's best friend, because you're always the one that ends up causing trouble. In regards to her being a housewife, I'm looking forward to seeing her and Portia's back and forth, but I don't think Shamea is a good fit for this show. And I just feel like, even though we've transitioned from the Ninis and the Phaedras and the Cynthias and the OGs, we want to see housewives. If you're coming on the show as a single woman, cool. But if you're coming on as a wife, we want to see you in your family dynamic. We want to see you with your husband. We don't want to see it just can't, to me, it just doesn't work that way. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't have your husband sitting at home saying, I want zero parts of this show because of my business, because of my career, but you go on there and give it your all. How are you supposed to give it your all if we're not getting the full truth? And yeah, I think that's it. Let's see how it plays out. Andy said that the reunion was great and he had a great time. I think he's reaching, and he's probably trying to sell us this cast a bit too much, but I'm just waiting to see. Yeah. So that's it.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm going to let them drop down, y'all. They did a wonderful job. They're going to drop down, and then I'm going to wrap up the show. Give me about 30 seconds and we are out of here. That's Jamie. That's Simply Yet Stylish. That's Live Well LA. We had some other people come up. Aiza. Like, we have come up. So thank you, everybody that was bold enough to call in today, child, because I came in hot a little bit today. Listen, shout out to the men. Shout out to the men that continue to support us, because I don't think a lot of people realize some of the men found this channel because I talk about a little bit of everything, but they make sure that they support us, ladies, even when we want to talk about our reality television. Okay. They come over and they make sure they're in the chat. Everything's going good, and they still show the support. So we love the men that come over and support the conversation. I just wanted to say that really quickly. Angela, I think you're going to have to back off. You're too beautiful, too sophisticated, and you're a woman of a mature age to get too low down and dirty. You are like a jack in the box. We want to see you pop up and read a hoe every now and then, not every episode. That's a bad road to go down. Okay. That's a bad road to go down. It's going to lessen your value. Okay. As it relates to housewives, period. Number 2, Pinky, I need you to step up by way of your clothes and things like that. I think you're starting to get into the thick of it and you're neutralizing some of that bite that you had initially. That tells me you learn really quickly, right? But now if we can just kind of get the housewifey look, I can't believe I'm saying it. I said I didn't even want Pinky here next season, but I think I'm open, Pinky. You see how one day we're here, one day, I don't know. I think I like how you're showing up as a neutralizer. I like how you're showing up for the well-being of the show. Portia, keep doing you. Girl, you earned it. You've been here long enough. You took your jabs. You took your L's, your losses. You've done some messed up stuff, but you have redeemed yourself in the most beautiful way. And I think it had to come to you just living out your truth of who you really are. Okay. Let me go to Drew. Drew, beautiful girl. Stop making stupid decisions. You got to get a better picker when it comes to the men. I don't like the men that you pick for yourself. And because of that, I don't know, Drew. You're going to have to do better. If you're going to be, I'm going to leave that there. K. Michelle, I think she'll make a great friend of the show. Not a full-time housewife. Shamea, friend of the show. Not a full-time housewife. Kelly, got to go. Kelly, every time I see Kelly, I feel like she's selling sex. Don't ask me why. Okay. I'm not saying she is, but that's just how she comes across. She comes across like, what's up? Where we going tonight? Okay. So that's it. That's all I got. Thank you, everybody. We will see y'all next week. Okay. All right.